Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here, coming at you with another raw narrative. And it's so good to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you all so much for joining the stream. Tonight, I want to talk about a few things because today, one of my childhood, I don't know if I should just call Dolly Parton the childhood legend, but someone that I just grew up with and someone that I just enjoyed watching so much, looked up to, has passed away today. And it was a very sad day um, for a lot of people out there. So I wanted to talk to you guys, just kind of do like I don't know, just a chit chat, but I found a really cool quote from Dolly Parton. Find out who you are, and just go for it, right? Like, do it. Do exactly what you're going to do with purpose, right? And I think that we all have a purpose, and I think that we all have a lot of gifts and things that we can bring to the table. So I really very much enjoy that um, because, it's something that when we think about life being so short, and I don't know if a lot of you guys, well, I mean, I saw a lot of people in Mr. and Mrs. E's Crimecast today, and I shared that video. It should be the very first video. Um, Let me go ahead and share my screen. Give me 1 second. And welcome in, everybody. And I'm sorry I'm late tonight. I was just getting everything together. Oh, I guess. Oh, I did post it. Okay, I posted it twice because I posted it yesterday and then I posted it today too in the Discord. So, um, definitely go over and check out Mr. and Mrs. E's video. Give me 1 second. Live stream. Okay, there we go. Hello, the real me too. Good to see you. Hey, Show Poodles and Brenda Calvert. Thank you so much for the jewels, Brenda Calvert. That's so sweet of you. I wish I could pop those up on the screen, guys, but I know you can see them in the chat. So yeah, here it is, guys. So it streamed about an hour ago, and they did such a beautiful job of remembering their son Cole, right? And so, I was just like, I had some things planned for us for tonight, but I figured it would just be like more of a chill night where we just kind of talk about whatever, doesn't have to have a topic, um, kind of a thing. Although I did see a post from Seth today, um, and I don't quite know, if it's like not naming any names, um, but oh, sorry guys, I was getting a text. Um, But yeah, hey Shadow, good to see you. So good to see you, Brenda Calvert. So good to see you. So yeah, guys, go over and check that out. I did have a party too. I was looking for it. So when we get 100 likes, I would do like a Dolly. Well, it was the Steel Magnolias party, but I don't know what your favorite Dolly Parton movie is, but one of mine is Steel Magnolias since I was a kid, but then Dolly also came out with a movie that I love to watch at Christmas time, and it's The Coat of Many Colors that her mom makes for her, and it's just such a sweet movie. I just love it, and so I watch that at Christmas time. So, and Bad Mom's Christmas at Christmas time is hilarious too. So, um, oh my gosh, yes, Brenda Calvert, yes. Um, like I said, Mr. and Mrs. E are the nicest people that you'd ever want to meet, And Jen and I were going to go to the dinner, but she kind of lives far out, so um, we ended up going back early. But I was really, sad that I didn't get to go to the dinner and, meet more people, but it was okay. I think we ended up going live too. But I just have to say that we have the best people in this community that are just genuinely kind people, right? Just and again, just reminding us that life is so short, you know. Brenda Calvert says, amazed by the strength and vulnerability at the same time, love the ease. Yeah, absolutely. They are, like I said, and they always show up for other people. You know what I mean? Like they're always right there to help and, just lend a hand or be there. So they're just amazing people. Um, I know whenever Cole passed away, I did see the Facebook posts and everything. And then I ended up finding his YouTube channel. It was so cute because like they have all the kids in like a acting troupe, right? Like they're just all of them really talented kids and just having a good time, but also serious about it. And he would audition for different things and was a very talented actor, and I really got that even from watching his YouTube videos because they're just so well done. Like you could tell he thinks them out and, puts a lot of thought, and he's just so funny, like naturally funny. So, hey, blessed in Florida, good to see you. Hashtag Huckleberry. Yes, I love steel magnolias. So, hey, Brandy and Indy, good to see you. And Barb is here. Hey, Barb, I got to get you a shield. I can't tell who has shields or not anymore because I have Restream and it doesn't allow me to do some stuff. I mean, I like it because I like to have the animated stuff in the background. And Trishy from uh, Sisters in True Crime made this for me. So, and I just love it. Like I love the background. So, um, I can't do that with StreamYard that I know of. I don't think I can anyway. I've never tried it, I guess. But yeah, yeah, Steel Magnolias is great, Shadow, it is. So, there's a lot of good, Dolly Parton movies out there, and she's just, she's one of those ladies that can just tell somebody off in a very classy way, right? She just, had to deal with a lot of, criticism because, like, she didn't come from money. She didn't, she made herself, and that's a big quote that I could have put up as well. It's like make yourself, do the things that you need to do to become successful. And when people are mean to you and they talk down to you or condescend to you because they think they're better than you, um you can definitely take it or leave it, right? And I'd rather leave it. So, but yeah, she's I don't know. She's an icon, a woman to look up to, and I think the article said she was 80 years old. I want to pull that up too. So, and I was also following the Hayden Panettiere. Um, she was found in an Airbnb with the boyfriend. Um, so there's some mystery surrounding that because the boyfriend was abusive to her in the past, and she was also on hardcore like drugs. So Narcan was attempted, but to the best of my understanding, um, if it doesn't hit your bloodstream and go to your brain to make your brain tell your body to start breathing again, then you won't start breathing again. So they could have tried to do it and it didn't get to her bloodstream. So that's what we're kind of looking at with that case. And it's very heartbreaking. Um, both of them were very obviously on drugs. And in a lot of the interviews, but the boyfriend was absolutely vile and violent, absolutely good looking, vile and violent, um, which is unfortunate. You know what I mean? It really is. So, no, it was so last minute, Sharon, because I'll tell you, I was, and good to see you, Sharon. I was crying and laughing and enjoyed the Ease Live so much that I was still processing some of it. And then I gave Witchy Mama a call really quick because um, I wanted to, give her a shout really quick. And then it was like, oh, I need to get my live set up. So, and coffee made, which I did. I got it all done, thankfully. So, but yeah, that's probably why you didn't get a notification. I'm thinking that's why. But yeah, guys, and then again, and I hate to keep switching topics, but the E's were just so gracious, and they did such a good job. Like, it is a lot to come up here, and I don't think people realize it. It's a lot to come up here, and then especially as beautifully as Mrs. E looked, and I was also, joking a little bit in the chat because I'm like, Mrs. E and Aunt E, their hair is beautiful, and then Mr. E's hair is on point too, and so it was a really fun, and again, when you're dealing with people that are so nice and likable, great personalities, just very sweet people, um, it's just like it hits so much harder too, when it's somebody that you're, like, we all have grown to care for one another and pray for one another. And, my heart just goes out to them, in this time. And so, yes. Oh, I'm glad too, Lover Girl. I had always planned on it, but I was also planning on being emotional too. To be honest, I was like, "Oh my gosh," but well, it's a lot to think about, right? Cuz life is so short, and then like I said with Dolly Parton, and I was like, "Oh my goodness." Um it's just, you know, none of us are going to make it out alive, and so it's, like, we better be kind to each other, which I thought was so sweet of Mrs. E to remind us. It's really hard too, though. It's extremely difficult um on YouTube, and I wish it wasn't like that, but I think there's definitely more good than there is bad. So that's the silver lining, because I saw so many great people in there too. And I also wanted to say that and I think I said it a little bit earlier, but we have the best community of people that are so sweet and kind, and again, caring towards each other. And I don't know, I just think that that's what we should do, to be to each other. So yeah, 9 to 5, yes, Brenda Calvert, 9 to 5, yeah. Yeah, Dolly was exceptional human being, and the world is so much better off for her having lived in it. Sorry, I almost messed that up on you, Lover Girl. That's exactly well said. Yeah, she is just like another shining example of a good human being. You know what I mean? And like, what's hard about Dolly too is when you're so iconic like she is, and just like really, wealthy and just well known, she was so down to earth, and I think again is just like such a good example of a human, like how we should be to each other. Um, we got to stay humble, and it's like easy to say that, like, stay humble, especially when you have that much money. So I'm sure it's tough, but she's just always so, I don't know, down to earth, and I always felt like she was genuine and authentic, so I always admired her for that too. The Real Me Too says, you want to know how wonderful they are. Mr. and excuse me, Mrs. E called me right after the live to see if I was okay. Oh, the Real Me Too. Aw. Oh my goodness. And to thank me, she knows I've had a hard time with Cole and Tony's loss. Yes. They're they are incredible people. Well, and that was another thing that Mrs. E said, that really hit me too. So Tony, a lot of people say a lot of stupid things. We'll just start there. Let's just start it there. Um, a lot of people will be ignorant, and I will say that it comes from ignorance if you don't realize that Tony was a good friend to Seth and a very good person all around to others, and was kind to other people. And then also, like I said, Tony, like, he was a good mentor for people, right? Like, is he's somebody, again, an example to look up to. And also, I've said this before, Tony also helped me with Devlin's case. Mr. and Mrs. E covered Devlin's case, right? It's just, we again have the best people, and I'm, sending you hugs too, the real me too. The real me too is such a sweetheart, and I still wear the bracelet that the real me too gave me at the vigil. Like, I've still had, or excuse me, at the gathering, I still have like all my bracelets and stuff. So that I wear every day. I have not taken them off because they're like the Live Strong bracelets, I wish it wasn't so expensive, or I would start sending those out, but it seems like it, I don't know. It's silly how much postage is now. So, um, yes, with Elvis, exactly, exactly. Yes, yes. But I think Elvis was more like, I mean, he was definitely good looking, but you know, I did like his older music and stuff like that. Um, and of course, I liked watching the Forrest Gump when he was. I don't think that was really Elvis, obviously, but that was funny. Um, I didn't get to finish it, so I'll finish it. Yeah, yeah, Shadow. It was so cute. Just like how, I mean, look, they just did such a wonderful, loving tribute, and that's how you can tell. And I wanted to do like a video, but then I thought, well, I'm gonna wait for them to do a video because they probably will do a way better video than I will. You know what I mean? So, but I'd like to pick a song and do a video for Cole because, and also, guys, please sub up to his YouTube channel. I'm glad to that I was reminded to tell you guys that because he wanted to get monetized. So we'll have to do that. That'll be really fun if you guys go over there and sub up. And let me get. I will put the link in the Discord for the mods. Hey Jen, good to see you. So good to see you, Jen. Aw, thank you, Brandy and Indy. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll tell you, you guys are always, keeping me pretty smushy because, everybody just always amazes me just with the kindness and stuff. Hey Kiki, me and Kiki talked today about Dolly. You know, I love Dolly, Catherine. I do. That's a quote from Dolly up there tonight because she just, like, again, I don't know, another, just a lady I look up to. And I have since I was a little girl. Lady Mama's best friend that's passed about 10 years ago was Dolly's first cousin and took my mama to Dolly's home. And she grew up years ago for her to see. Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow, Kiki. See, and you guys are like right over in that area. I would like to go to the theme park. Now, I did have a chance to do what does she have in Branson? She had something there. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it's the Stampede. It used to be the Dixie Stampede, but they made her change it, which is dumb. But they did, and I didn't go to that. I wanted to though, and that's another thing that I thought was so cool about Cole because I love the theater. I don't know how many of you like musicals or like to go to the theater, but it's such a different experience. Um, like, I mean, and I was lucky enough to go see um, the Andrew Lloyd Webber, oh gosh, Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat with Donny Osmond, and it was really really cool. Like, the music is so good, and yeah, it's just fun. It's just fun to be there and experience all of it. So the real me too. Yes, Tony was a great man. Yeah, he's a great friend too. You know what I mean? And he was such a good friend and to Seth. And um, I mean, like I said, I didn't know him as long as a lot of other people did. But the time I did, I'm lucky to have known him. And I apologize to Tony because for a while I didn't know what to think, and a lot of times, we don't, because things can get pretty ugly on the internet again. Um, so I never got to meet Tony, but he seemed to be amazing. Yeah. Yeah. And, I know that he had so many people that just loved him. He's got family, and it was just very unexpected, too. So, um, yeah. Oh, yeah. The real me too, for sure. For sure. Yeah. I'll get together with Jen, and I saw Jen in there too. So, sub up to Cole's channel. Let me get it. Let me get it really quick, guys. Hold on one second. Oh, sorry, I don't want to play that. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but I was playing something, but I did not want to play that. Okay, so let's see. It's called. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. All right, hold on one second. uh, and you guys got to watch the monetization video. You guys got to watch that one. It is so funny. So Cole is hilarious. But definitely go over and watch on Mr. and Mrs. E's it's their newest live stream they did tonight. So go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and it's so funny because they do like skits and stuff, and I don't know, they're just very talented. The kids are. It's fun to watch. Um, Aw, Kiki. I love you guys too. And I mean, like I said, we have the best people, you guys. You guys are just so kind to each other and sweet. And I got a update from Mama Marissa. So she was able to get out of the hospital, and she wanted to thank everybody for for the prayers too. So again, it's just been such a full day, guys. Like today was like very busy day. Um, you know, My favorite thing she said was, "It costs a lot to look this cheap." Kiki, like I said, she's just so funny. Like she is just, I mean, Dolly is just somebody. And I remember when they would always like, people are always gonna find something, right? It's always something when you're in the public eye, but like people would be like always talking about her boobs, of course, because and it's like, hey, jerks. Cole had a video of him asking a girl out to prom. He wrote, "What do you want to say on paper?" And it was sweet. Yeah, I mean, IMO, that the tributes that they did were awesome. Awesome. And then there was like a Mr. Beast audition. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just he lived a full life, and then um it was so sad how things happen. And like I said, my heart goes out to Mr. and Mrs. E. Um, but yeah, definitely go and sub up to Cole's channel. I mean, and so many people had so many like beautiful things to say in the chat. Josh from the lab was there. Justin was there. Of course, our friend Jen was there. Just a lot of like just sweet people who showed up. You know what I mean? We were blessed to have the Dixie Stampede down here in Orlando. Yeah, my family went several times and it was wonderful. See, I wanted to go at Christmas time. I did want to go at Christmas time. I mean, and then like Branson lights up for Christmas time. Um, but yeah, I would definitely like to do something like that still. Um, but yeah, let me pull up. And I'm sorry if I'm behind in chat, guys. Let me see. I have not watched the new Crime Time Buzz. I did not watch the new Crime Time Buzz. But aw, thank you, Blessed. You're so sweet. I love you too, Blessed. Brandy, I have to go watch. Yeah, yeah. I haven't watched it. I know I saw it come through, I think, as a notification, but um oh really? What? Kiki? Kiki, do you want the link? No, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you tonight we were getting everything ready for bed and heard an explosion, went outside and all the neighbors out wondering what happened. And we're wondering what happened. And a man got drunk and had a bonfire and his chicken was, unalived. He set it on fire for whatever reason. What? Oh, he was alive. The chicken was alive, and he set the chicken on fire. Oh my. Oh boy. Oh, okay. He didn't like. He didn't. I was like, don't tell me he murdered his chicken. Don't tell me he murdered the chicken. If it was an accident, like, oh, put too much gas on the fire. Oh, what did he do? Squirt it? Like you can't just squirt that stuff on there. You know what I mean? It's gonna cause quite the explosion. Fire department and all like make this crap. Oh my gosh, Kiki! I'm glad nobody else was hurt by that, or nothing else caught fire except for the poor chicken. Oh my goodness, girl. See, sometimes we just have to have a chat. Kiki, oh my gosh. Good to see you, Ava. Good to see you. Brenda Branson several times, but never at Christmas. It's lit up, Brenda. It is. It's very lit up for Christmas, like because they do it Silver Dollar City up and all of that. So I've always wanted to see it all lit up. Yeah, it's pretty. It is. Well, and how Branson is. It's like billboards everywhere, and so you want a link for real, Kiki? I will. I'll send it to you. That's so funny. Um, Give me 1 second. You want me to? Well, I'll drop it. I mean, don't nobody else take the link. Some people will be like, take the link. I'm like, don't take the link, except for Kiki. All right, there you go, Kiki. So my PTSD. She comes into chat and she says, I come in here and I hear someone set their chicken on fire. So a drunk guy set his chicken on fire. So hey, Kiki.
Hey, lady, I kid you
Hi.
not. Hey, I
So
kid you
what
not.
happened now? Tell us, because I didn't read it good. So
Okay.
I was
Oh my
kind of shocked
God.
at what you were saying.
So, I was like doing dishes or something, and I thought one of the kids had knocked on the wall or something. That's what it sounded like. It was like boom. And I was like checking to make sure dogs wasn't, roughhousing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I walk outside and like all the neighbors are out. I mean, it's like 9 o'clock at night. This is not normal.
Oh
And
gosh.
they're like, what happened? And they're like, I see fire up on the hill or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. And I look and it looks like it's towards my cousin's house. So I call my cousin. She didn't answer. So I'm flipping out. So I send my boys up there in the truck, you know, they go up there and this man, I kid you not. This man, my husband said, Lord, I couldn't get nowhere around him. He was so strong, smelling,
Um,
And he said that he had a fire going, like brush or whatever, and that his chicken was already gone. Okay, already gone.
oh
And
no. He
he
was like
said,
he was like bopping around over there and then just got
no,
taken
no, the
out. Oh
chicken,
God, I hate to
no,
even
he, no,
speculate.
he was already unalived. He was already
Oh
sick
jeez.
and unalived. And for
Oh,
whatever reason, the man thought it
oh
was a good
Lord.
idea to
Rest the little
put
chicken. Oh,
to put the fuel on the chicken and put it
like
in
he
the
was gonna
fire.
cook it?
He threw it onto the fire and it flew in the air.
Oh my
Hang on,
God.
hang on. And my cousin's son was home and he's 18 and he was the only one home because she was at work. And he thought he heard somebody pregnant in the house.
Oh
So
Lord, help the chickens.
when my kids showed up, he's at the door with you know what, and thinking somebody had broke in, and they checked on him, and we think that the chicken might have hit the side of the house. We don't
Oh,
know
because you
yet.
heard the. I was wondering, like, because yeah, you said you heard something like.
Yeah, no, not my house. It hit my cousin's house because
Oh,
that's what we're thinking. Because he said it sounded like somebody ran through his house, like broke in.
oh my God.
And the fire department shows up. It's all over Facebook, those local community
Did you bring
things.
it up? You want me to pull it up?
Oh my God. No, no, no.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I'm telling you,
Did he
everybody was like,
season it? Coffee Cracker
I
Cats wants to know if he seasoned it or not.
don't know.
Their first
I'm,
story.
this is the craziest crap I've ever heard, and I swear it happened, okay?
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
try to go back on my ring. Like, you couldn't probably see anything. You might be able to see a blaze, but you'll probably hear the boom.
Right.
So,
It sounds like it was loud because I know sometimes it pops if I don't know what else he had on the
I don't
fire
know. I
on the
don't know, but
Barbie.
the
Smells
fire
like chicken.
department, could you imagine explaining that to the fire department? I set my chicken on fire.
I know, right? Poor little chicken. I
Poor
know, poor little
thing.
chickadee.
Thank God it was already, gone. You know what I mean?
I
But oh
know. I
my,
don't know my because I do obviously I do eat chicken, but then I'm like if if I raised a chicken, could I kill the chicken? You know what I'm saying? Because then I
no,
would be
yeah.
like,
And you
that's my
wonder why
friend
I'm
Fred,
moving. You wonder why I'm moving to the other side.
Oh no.
I mean, this is insane. Like I was like, and then I had this old man neighbor. I don't know how he got my phone number. He's like texting me, "Are
Oh
you
no.
guys all right?" He's like the creepy old man of the subdivision,
Oh
I'm
god.
like,
He's like texting
dang.
you. Did you see that?
No, he's like, Is everything okay over there?" Like anytime anything moves, he's wanting to know if your
If
gate's
everything's all
open,
right. Yeah, but
your
that's
lights
nice
are
though,
on.
at least, because
I know, but
the way the world is, then again, he might be the one to watch out for.
oh,
You
he's
never know.
creepy. He is creepy, let me tell you. And I'm thinking, okay, my brother-in-law lives beside him, so did my brother-in-law tell him my phone number?
Oh my
Who
god.
gave him my number? But anyways,
Oh
I
goodness
had to
sakes.
explain, but
That is
anyways,
it's funny but also sad for the chicken because
oh my God. Y'all
which
are
you mama says
probably
I
I
thought at
can't
first you meant he was cooking his chicken like fried frozen into oil and blew up the poor chicken. The poor chickie. Aw.
I'm telling you, I could probably just walk around certain areas in Tennessee and get so much footage of anything. You all would you all would not believe me.
I
But
bet you
yeah,
Florida's the same way. I bet you if I went like, you know,
oh my gosh.
anywhere,
But
I'm sure like where it's busy, where there's people watch.
yeah, I took my girls with me tonight and we went up to Sevierville. It's a little bit
Oh,
of drive.
yes.
And we walked downtown to the courthouse. I put a video on.
Oh,
And
good.
the town has they've always had a statue there of Dolly, and people were like laying flowers at her feet. There was national news there after we left, thank God, because I did not want to be on national news the way I was looking. But anyways, it's sad. They were playing her music, and at
Oh,
first my kids were like, they didn't understand. They're young. They're like, why are we doing this? I said, you'll remember this one day as what we did to pay our respect. So,
yeah. Oh my gosh, I would totally go if I could.
yeah, but
I love that.
the whole town up there, even the Stampede sign says, we'll miss you, Dolly. I mean,
Aw,
there's all kinds. It's wild. Yeah, it's cool. So,
that's so awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Like, I always love hearing those stories about people just like coming together and, you know,
well, the good
just,
snippet about her is she started for the kids in the area because she was really adamant about kids learning to read. And
right.
she started a book program called Imagination Library. And she lets any of the residents in Sevier County sign up for the books for the kids,
Cool.
like ages 0 to 9. They get free books once a month.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
See, we did
So,
that. Like, I know we did that through PTA. It was like reading is fundamental, but we didn't do it like that. Is awesome. Like, it was only
yeah.
like a couple times a year that we did it, and the kids would get like two books a piece that they could pick.
Well, she
But
helped out so many, like during the wildfires. Um, Anybody that lost their homes, she donated 10,000 per person that lost their home. And then during the floods of North Carolina
mhm.
and Newport area and all that, she donated tons of money. So, but I didn't get to watch Mr. and Mrs. E's. I'm gonna go on there tonight or in the morning and watch. I felt bad, but I was driving, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
I'm
in
glad you
there.
guys got to go and do that, though. I would have done that as well too. But yeah, definitely watch Mr. and Mrs. E's. Oh my goodness, it was just really like just really beautiful, like the way that they did a tribute and like a celebration of life for Cole. Because I mean, Kiki, it's just
I can't even imagine. I wouldn't want to, you know.
me neither. It really breaks my heart, and it's like my good friend's granddaughter is in Seattle. She's getting treatments. And it's like I can't even bear to ask because it hurts them so bad, and I just don't, I just
Hmm.
wait for updates, you know what I'm saying, and pray. And I just, he did send me a cute little video though where she was singing about a dragon, and I was like, oh my gosh. But
Oh,
but it's so sad when it happens to kids or young people like Cole, because he's a young man. And it's just so, it's just so
yeah.
sad. But
See,
Mr. and Mrs. E are such good people.
that's why my heart breaks for my mother-in-law and my husband because we had a tragedy happen when my oldest son, I think he was 4 months old. My sister-in-law was 20 and her baby was 8 months. And they were on their way home from, she had taken the baby to see the dad because they weren't married yet. She was a teen mom. And for whatever reason, she was going a high rate of speed and hit a tree. And, that changed all our worlds
Oh
very
my gosh.
quickly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So, you know, it's just, I mean, it even affected my husband as far as and me as far as being overly protective over our kids, like when they go out driving or anything. It really does a number on you to lose people close to you.
Well, it does. Yeah, and I know, we've all, I mean, I think a lot of us have lost people from cancer, but it's just so sad when it happens to the kids. Like, I just,
Hmm.
and life is so short. And again, like with anything can happen, at any
Yeah,
given time. Um,
yeah.
but
But at least I got to tell you about the chicken
oh
and
my
make
gosh,
y'all
that was
laugh.
so funny. I
Oh my,
needed that too. Well, that's what you'll do when you watch the Ezo. You will laugh and cry, and like I said, just they did just a great job, because they're just loving, good people.
yeah, they are amazing. And
Yeah.
every
So,
time I'm in there, they're so welcoming. So
so what do you think about elevated truth stuff? Do you believe some of it, or are you like what are your thoughts on that?
in my opinion, I watched one part where he said, and this is his words, not mine, but he said
Right?
100% that he was telling the truth about things and that he would actually go to court if he had to and say the same thing.
Wow. See, like that's what he was saying. Like, I don't care, sue me. What are you gonna do? I'm like, well, if it's true, we can't sue you.
Yeah, yeah. So, in my opinion, I think yes, may now whether or not somebody, and I'm saying allegedly, because people can tell you things even on phone calls and it be something that's not true, but you feel like it's the truth. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Well, and see, that's what's so hard about this is because Chris and Katie seem to have said it, but unless we hear exactly what was said, it's too hard to make up our minds whether to believe. What we're going to have to believe what we want, and then also if we consider the source with Chris and Katie, they're liars, in my opinion. So I'm like, how do we decode the situation?
Yeah, like, I mean, and I'm saying allegedly, could they have been testing the waters to see if he would come out and actually say something?
Well, and see, that's another thing entirely. And then you got like Clue and Cletus, who are so according to truth, they're telling him, "Yeah, we know that you're not lying," but then they're turning around and telling everybody else, "Well, that's not true." And like, I don't know, that would drive me crazy too. I'd be pissed off too, to be honest. I mean, I'm just trying to stick up for, the right thing and figure out what the right thing is, but I mean, to me, I would be PO'd if I was him and people were gaslighting me like that. If I'm telling the truth, I wouldn't dwell on it though either, because I mean, he knows, God knows. Hopefully, the FBI knows, because we need to find Sebastian if he's got information. I mean, like, why do you think Chris and Katie haven't been arrested?
Uh,
Because I
that's a
feel
hard
like they should
question.
be. I know. I feel like they should be. Like, it makes me so mad every day. I'm like, they need to be arrested. And it's like, I hate to, like, I don't usually think that way about people, but in this
At
case,
at the least, if those CPS reports, which I heard if they're on the lawsuit, then that's CPS stating it. I think
right.
they should be held accountable for that part at least, in my opinion. But one thing that confused me about the whole elevated truth thing, and
Hmm.
I'll tell you, is I know Seth wanted to go on panel, and I think it was a very good discussion. But the thing that stood out to me was instead of questioning Seth, why didn't he give Seth a chance to ask him things? Because that's his son they're talking about, allegedly. And I think that Seth should have been the one to be able to ask him questions and him not questioning Seth.
Well, that's my whole thing because I was really trying hard because, you know, like if I'm reviewing somebody, I try not to just sit up here and be like, what the, you know what I mean? Like everything. No, no. But like it was really hard for me last night because I was like, he just has a lot of it wrong. Like, in my opinion, now I can't speak for everybody. And I know there's definitely been a line drawn in the sand, but I feel like there is a way to find a common ground if everybody does a give and take. But if nobody's willing to, like, I just, and then also, um the way I feel about it is that you're right, he absolutely like there was, it was just always like 7 to 10 to over 10, past 11 to back to 7 maybe, but it was never like an even keeled moment besides the Ninja Turtle moment. Like it's almost like Truth forgot where he was and forgot that there was an audience, and he was just shooting the shit with Seth as a human to human. And like the fact that Seth got up there, I think that that was very, good of him to get up there and answer questions. Um,
Yeah, I do too. And I commend him because he handled himself really well. I do
he
believe.
did.
The thing about it is here's here's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get it out right. In my opinion, I felt like at that moment it was almost like because I've heard Elevated Truth say before and heard it today, I think. Why didn't Seth ever come to our side and come up on panel? Well,
Mhm.
um, he doesn't have to, for one, in my opinion, but Elevated Truth, if you hear this, why don't you ever come over on our side on the panel and answer some questions for us? Right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, that's what I was trying to say, Kiki, because I don't want him to think that, like, I don't know. I don't want anybody to think that I hate them. Of course, I'm going to have disagreements or whatever with people, but I don't ever hate them. But it's like, there's certain things where you do have to set boundaries and stuff like that. You can't let people walk all over you. But in the same way, I would be fine with him coming on a panel. Like I've seen him go on panels with other people, and he is very, like, his personality is what it is. You know what I mean? We all have different personalities.
Yeah, as long as he didn't say GD, I can't stand that word, it would be good. And I'm not coming against him at all. I
Well,
just
is he
think, and it,
telling more truths? Like, what else is he coming out and saying? Like, if you don't mind me asking, because I didn't have a chance to look at any of it today, really.
I didn't get to listen to a whole lot. I actually need to go back and refresh. But there was some things that kind of through my mind, I don't know, certain ways, but I did hear him say that um, Cletus had to back his wife, and he expected that. But also, Cletus never said that he was lying. So that I was like, and that was his words.
Oh, I agree with that, and I would think that Cletus would say either way. I mean, I'm not saying that I believe everything he says because I don't, but I mean, if he's saying that truth isn't lying, then that means that he's telling the truth, So, you know,
And he said also that people were taking clips of TikToks or something from years ago and putting them out
hmm
there in little small clips, making him look bad. Now, if he's telling the truth, then I feel like I don't know. Why don't he
I
go
don't
to
think it made
Seth's
him look
panel?
bad.
Why don't he
I
go
think
to
I
Seth's panel next time, you know? Let Seth ask him some questions, in my opinion.
I saw one that like Audacity put up. Her name was like I think it's Audacity, and it was him from like 2021, and he was all he was doing was talking about like how he was talking about how he was whistleblowing on some of the things that were going on at his job. So I mean, I think that like, do you know how like when people are on the spectrum, they do take things very literally, and you know, they're very truthful in ways like that. Like, I feel like some of it's that too, but I don't believe that Sebastian was put in the trash can. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, I don't believe that either. If anything, it was other things that needed to go, in my opinion. Like, you know, certain things.
Which he says, let's do a body language analysis to see. And I don't know if I'd be. I mean, I think I would be able to do it if I had the deception deck. Just kidding.
I mean, I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like that he was being truthful, but he was saying some wild stuff that I'll talk to you about.
Yeah,
And
because well, he was going back and forth on some things, like, and I'm not talking about like where he's going back and forth, like, but I'm saying he was going subject to subject, and it was kind of like hard to follow at some times because he would change the subject on things quickly, and then I'd be like, "What is he talking about?" Kind of a thing. So
now, if he does have like a ADHD, because I think I really do, I will say something and then I'll randomly come out of nowhere with something because I think about it, and if I don't say it, I will forget it. So that's how I kind of read him.
yeah, and I mean, I think Kristen Katie told him things, and I think he was saying that he was told like in a group of people. So I'm pretty sure it was probably like Cletus and Clue was on the phone calls too.
No, he said that, and he also said he flew, I think it was to Nashville, and he said to a place because he had to work anyways, but he wanted to go in person to turn things in. And what I can figure out is it seems like TBI, if I'm not mistaken, because he said a place next to a coroner's office or something like that in Nashville.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I
he
thought they
was
had an FBI
stating
field office in Memphis.
maybe, maybe,
I don't know if
but
he went to the field office or.
I'd have to go back and rewind what what I heard. But why not leave the videos up too? Why does he have to apologize? Now today I did hear him say, the one person I did let down was Sebastian. And I was like, you know, that's good for admitting that if this is true, because
I don't know why he
I could
just won't tell
never,
Seth. I mean, but I get like that with a lot of people where I'm like, I mean, we are Sebastian's Army at gmail.com. Like, Seth isn't
yeah,
trying to not talk to people, but why can't you be real with him? And single mom with three kids is saying this too. She says, that her thing about the interview with Seth on the panel is that Truth wouldn't tell him about the trash, like he's talking in riddles with him, and
yeah,
made it more about like I feel like you made it more about asking questions than giving the
yes.
answers that Seth came up for, on the panel for, if that makes sense.
Like an interview for Seth, like his opportunity is what I felt like it was.
He was like, "Okay, I'm asking you questions if you're on my panel," which I'm like, "Okay, well, it's your panel," but and I
Yeah,
think Seth feels like that too, like that's the thing too. Seth has been so generous like with answering questions, and whenever he comes in the chat, um I just hope people don't bombard him with questions because he will answer them on his lives, but like my lives
Yeah.
are not really like for him to answer questions of people. You know, like now
No.
Seth will come out sometimes and like correct something, or if he gives information it's one thing, but he usually reserves his questions like people's questions for his show, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. He just wants to hang out, and say hi or whatever.
Drop
So,
Sebastian's links and stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
he does that all the, you know what I mean? Like he does. And that was another thing that upset me with Truth was like he was like telling Seth that, well, I drop it more than you do, and it's like, oh, that
Oh
wasn't the
yeah,
right
about the
to say
flyer
that.
and the
Um,
flyer in the background, and I was like, seriously, come on.
it's like, excuse me, excuse me, what happened?
He's
But
just
people
worried
can be
about
so
finding his.
hateful. So I'm
He's
like,
trying to find his son. He's not worried about the setup behind him.
exactly.
That's me. That's my thinking. I'm not putting words in his mouth, but
Well, and look at these parents that come out, like Brandy Vaughn. She is just such a sweetheart. She does everything to put Michael's stuff out there. She does like little monkey mail, like it's so cute. All the things that she does, and everybody does their own little thing to find their child and to spread awareness. And when I see Seth out there doing it by himself, like I can't help but get upset about that because it's not the right thing to do. And then I don't know who's grifting because there's a lot of grifters out there. Um, but he did make a post about that, and I was like, I don't know, it's just it's tough, Kiki, because I wish it didn't have to be like that, but it's very unfortunate. And then I feel like Sebastian's just been failed by a lot of people. um
number one was the CPS, in my opinion,
oh yeah, girl.
because if it would have stopped right there, if those allegations, whatever happened, what have you, and it would have stopped right there, then it wouldn't have went no farther.
I know. And like the fact that he didn't get notified at all and they knew about him, because like I know a lot of people are saying that what if Katie was telling the workers that um Chris was Sebastian's dad? Because you know how like Katie was doing that too, like I want to be like dad and ride it or drive a crane when I get older or whatever. Like she said that, but she was talking about dad Chris. And so it was like, I'm like, that's a possibility, but then again, in the filing, it's saying that they had Seth's info.
See that's insane to me. How he should have known, just like everybody's like, I heard somebody on a panel say, "Oh, I think who was it? It may have been CP said, "Oh, well, I know everything about law enforcement." This was at the beginning or whatever, that I know what it was. SF said on one of his things, the rabbit hole thing. What is that show? The rabbit hole.
Oh, Down the Rabbit Hole News. I used to
Yes,
love
yes.
watching Rabbit. Yeah, I used
Okay.
to love watching her until it, well, because I was not, I wasn't upset with her or anything. I just couldn't watch the Sebastian Rogers coverage because of like, I don't think SF is good,
Mm-mm.
any good, because he messed up in the Kylie Rodney
No.
thing. He did stuff in the David case. It just, and
Well,
then what
he
he did in
said
Sebastian's. Mm-mm.
he literally stated that Chris and Katie, well, Chris had TBI in the sheriff department anytime that he texts that he got an answer. And I was thinking, okay, well, Seth should get that same response. In my
Well,
opinion,
Kiki, what
all
about the
three parents.
neighbors? They don't even give him the camera footage from the neighborhood, but they're
Mm,
giving it to YouTubers because people would be like, okay, well, but they can't because of the law. But if they're giving it to YouTubers or if they're posting it publicly in like chat forums, like this is where I'm cloudy because I don't know if like it's their footage, so they can do whatever they want with it.
My question is how many people are actually going to be responsible for things, like how many are going to come out, and have to give depositions for what they've heard, what they kept in, what they've seen, and not said anything, in
I'd
my
feel so
opinion.
guilty if I was like if I held information seeing Seth come out here the way he does.
I know, like, I could never, like, oh my gosh. First, if you get information, I think it goes FBI straight away. But then
Yes.
why not send an email to Seth? Because he's not going to hear anything going on, evidently, and say, hey, this is what I hear. If I get something, like, Lord, I don't want nobody sending me tips. But if I get a tip, it goes where it needs to go, and it goes to Seth in his
Well, and
email.
why would Bobby say that there's no guys that pick the trash up, that it's an arm that does it? Because there's literally people in the videos that I've seen lately that there's
I don't
people getting
know.
up and grabbing them trash bins and putting them on the arm, like
See,
it
the
doesn't
thing
on.
of the thing about it too, like our subdivision, different people have different services. Like they'll have, say, one will have waste management, the other one will have another company. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we were in a chat somewhere the other night and somebody said, oh, that, and I think they were local, and they said, oh, that doesn't look like a McMurtry's truck. And I was like,
Oh,
huh. So that got me thinking too. So, but anyways, I'm gonna hop down. I've got to get up really early. I'll be in chat listening until I go to sleep. But thank you for
okay,
having me
Kiki. Thanks for
up.
coming up. Yeah, I was just curious. I'm always so curious to pick everybody's brain about stuff because it's interesting.
Yeah, and elevator truth don't need to be thinking that we're gonna attack him. If it's gone to law enforcement stuff and he wanted to come out or what have you,
I mean,
or
I'm
just
with
go
you
to
on that, Kiki.
stat.
That's what I was trying to say. I'm like, I'm glad that you feel that way because I don't want people to think like, oh, I'm just because. Look, again, I don't hate anybody, and I do believe a lot of what he's saying. I mean, I feel for him too because it would bother me too. I wouldn't be able to keep it in.
No, and I mean he doesn't owe us YouTubers anything, for one. No,
No.
Seth, I think, Seth deserves the truth. It's his son.
Yeah.
But, if he wants a platform, then we need to be open enough to where we don't attack, and he can be open if he feels comfortable over on this side, I guess you would say. So I'll let you
Right.
go. Thank you
Okay,
so
Kiki.
much.
All right. Love you, girl.
Love
Yes.
you.
I'll go watch your video. Thank you for getting that too and going.
Oh, you're welcome, and
Yeah,
thank
for
you.
sure.
And I'll be doing some more throughout the weekend, probably, if I can drive there.
Right. Yeah. No, that's great because I bet you there's going to be a lot of celebrations for Dolly.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Probably a ton. I know downtown Knoxville, the bridge downtown is lit up in rainbow colors for her. So
Aw.
yeah,
That's so cool. I'm gonna have to do a video, of course. I just haven't today because it was a busy day, but it was a good day and a busy day, and
yeah.
bittersweet day, I guess.
Except
Um,
for the poor chicken.
except for the poor chicken, and Joe wants you to know that he's brash but respectful.
Oh, okay. Hello,
Just
Joe.
saying. Oh goodness!
Well, I'm glad you're respectful, Joe. I'm
Thank you
so
for being
glad you are.
respectful. Don't be
Thank
too
you.
brash now.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Good night, lady.
Oh, good
Love y'all.
night, Kiki.
Bye.
We love Kiki. She does awesome work, and you guys definitely go to Kiki's channel. Um, she is awesome, and she made the cutest video for us. Jen, Smiley, um, Betty, myself, and Kiki was in it. Of course, it's all of us true crime ladies, and it was so cute. Um, just love it. So thank you, Witchy. I'm nervous when you said you wanted to weigh in, Ava. Joe always cracks me up. Like, don't take him seriously in the chat. He's just kidding. Oh, goodness. Aw. Rest in peace, Mr. Chicken. Poor little chicken. I was feeling so sad for him. I thought he was like clucking around and clucking around and found out. Poor little chicken. Um, oh my goodness. Isn't it cute, Bo? It was so cute. Missed my PTSD. She puts a little chicken, a little chicken leg. Oh my goodness. Poor little chickens. Um, that's what I wanted to do, guys. I wanted to. Let's do a Dolly. I was gonna pull up. I bet you we could pull up a video. Let's see. Not probably E News. Let's see. It's going to be hard because I bet you a lot of them play songs. Uh, let's see. Let's bring one. Okay, here's one for. Um. Okay, so you guys might only get to see this live because I might have to cut this out later. So if we do have to go that route, that sucks because I like Dolly. But what if I do? Here, let's see if we do this. And I share it. Okay, sorry, give me 1 second. Let me move myself around a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Sorry guys, I have to redo this every time. I wish it would save some of these, but it doesn't. So just bear with me here. There we go. All right, so this is WSMV4.
Well, I want to be remembered as a good person, a person that tried to do good, try to make the most of every good thing I was given, all my talent.
And that she did. From coast to coast tonight, millions are mourning the loss of a country music legend. Dolly Parton died in Nashville after a brief battle with cancer. Her music, her movies, and her generosity made her an icon far beyond the country music stage.
Oh my gosh, look how pretty. So that's all for Dolly Parton. Wow, that's so beautiful. So beautiful. Hey, Holly, good to see you. I know, Bo, I saw your post today too in Discord, and I was like, oh. So, yeah. So sad. And I didn't realize that she had cancer. I thought she had some health battles. Like, I mean, as we get older, right? It's hell getting old. So, um, but that's right. Brenda, she is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, genuine, authentic. Those are the people that I love. You know what I mean? Those are the people that you have to cherish in life because not everybody is that way. So, Joe, take it easy. Um, so I think everybody's sad, Joe, and don't discount that you yourself is probably beside yourself.
And tonight, tributes are pouring in from all across the world, with the Empire State Building lit up in pink in Dolly's honor. It is good to be with you tonight as we reflect on the life and legacy of Dolly Parton. She died today at Vanderbilt Hospital after she was admitted on Friday. Tributes have been pouring in all day across the country following the news of the 80-year-old's death. We've got team coverage for you tonight as many all across Nashville honor the queen of country music herself. I'm going to get right, though, to my co-anchor, Tracy Cornett, who is live for us at Dolly's Brentwood home. Tracy, a memorial there has been growing all day. I know so many somber faces out there tonight.
Absolutely. A lot of somber faces and some joyous ones, too. I want to show you this memorial growing behind me as we have about a couple of dozen folks out here at this hour driving by, looking, paying their respects to Dolly Parton. Look at the flowers already here today, the handmade cards, the candles, the balloons. You see a sign here. Y'all means you all. We love Dolly. This one, to the most inspiring feminine feminist, it says, in the arms of Jesus, we love you, Dolly, our brightest Vol. We love you. I mean, I can count at least a couple of hundred arrangements of flowers out here as folks here are playing music and honoring and sharing stories, her memory here tonight. Neighbors around her Brentwood home tell us they're always going to remember her Christmas decorations and, of course, her huge legacy as a philanthropist and icon that brought light to so many lives. And this isn't the only place holding a memorial for Dolly tonight. Country music's biggest stage is honoring Dolly in a special way. Take a listen.
This is for Dolly.
Oh, hold on. We got a little ad here.
Back through the years, I go wandering once again.
Oh my goodness, and there's just going to be an outpouring. We know. I mean, it's just like when any of the icons, pass away. So, and yes, Miss Witchy, I love this. Witchy says, we enjoy all opinions here as long as they are respectful. We sit at the grown folks table. Sorry, it reminds me of Jen, the grown folks table, and enjoy a good discussion. That's right. Leave any drama to the kitty table, please. Yes. Thank you, Witchy. Joe, what are you talking about? He says Taylor Swift is the new queen of country. I don't think so. Don't make me choose, Joe, okay? That's not fair. Fun fact, Jolene was written about a bank teller that hit on her husband, Carl. I love it. Oh, how funny. Well, Carl must have been a nice looking guy. Oh, goodness. I know. Right before the tribute, too, my PTSD, that was rude. Rude. Joe is laughing because no one can touch Dolly. That's right. Exactly. I mean, T-Swift can try, but... I named the chicken Jolene. Oh my goodness. That's too funny. Poor little Jolene. Oh my goodness. You guys are funny. All right. So yeah, then they did the whole thing at the Grand Ole Opry. I think that's right outside, I guess. Sorry, I must not have been listening very well.
Oh, the sweet sounds. That's where we find our Braden Ross tonight as many pay their respects. Braden, tell us more about Dolly's history where you are tonight.
Well, there have been a lot of surreal moments today. One, I can tell you right now, we just heard A Coat of Many Colors start playing over the Opry speakers right as that soundbite was playing there. But Dolly's presence was certainly felt all over the Opry tonight. Many of the people who took the stage tonight sang some of her most famous songs. They shared stories about Dolly, and the Opry was a huge part of Dolly's life. It was always her dream to sing on the Grand Ole Opry, and she actually accomplished that goal pretty young. She first sang on the radio show at just 10 years old. She was officially inducted into the Opry as a member in 1969. People, of course, come from far and wide to hear the icons of the Opry like Dolly. We met a couple who was visiting from the UK. They were here a few days ago when the Opry honored the passing of Hayden Panettiere. But when they heard the news today, they knew they had to come back tonight.
I was so shocked it was like somebody from your family. It really had. And like all of a sudden, Dolly's, her voice comes into your head. Nashville to me is Dolly. Always will be. Always will.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I think a lot of people feel that way, right? Like, I mean, I've always associated Dolly like that as well. So, poor Jolene Bo. Hey, Leslie, keeping it real. Good to see ya. So she grew up poor and had a dream and a husband that supported her. Yeah, and look what can happen. Well, and that's always the thing, right? We all need a support system, and we all need people that are going to root for us. And that's what I love about the story, the coat of many colors. I wish we could do something that would be fun to do, like on a members, but we'd have to do it like, I don't know, on Discord or something, but because I don't know if they'd let me keep it up, but that'd be fun to watch at Christmas time, do, like kind of a live review. But I wouldn't want to stop it. I'd want to like just watch it with you guys. But that would be fun because I don't know. That's just like a really special story, and it's like it's about being grateful for what you have, and then some people don't understand, the sentimental value, but behind those kinds of things, especially when you don't have, I guess, when you don't have to, right? But it's a lot about being grateful for what you have.
Doesn't matter that she's gone. Nashville's always Dolly Parton. Yeah, and Dolly, we love you.
We will always love you, Dolly. And the celebration of Dolly's life here at the Opry does not stop tonight. They're planning a whole special celebration show for her on Saturday. I'll leave you with one last thing from the Opry, something that happened earlier today as we were standing out in the courtyard admiring the beautiful tribute photos that they have up around for Dolly. A butterfly landed right on her face. I believe that's Dolly saying hello, that she's still here with us. For now, at the Grand Ole Opry, Braden Ross, WSMV4.
Oh, how touching is that? Thank you so much, Braden. So many sharing their love for Dolly Parton. I have to tell you, about another dozen folks have just arrived here. Some young children, even a baby was out here with her parents. Dolly's known for her authenticity, right? All while inspiring musicians for decades. Here are just some of the highlights of her storied career. Born in 1946, she's known as Tennessee's favorite daughter.
She had to work terribly hard to get where she is.
Dolly Parton's success etched into the Music City Chronicles, like the first time she took the stage at the Ryman Auditorium.
Dolly's had a long tie with our building, to say the least. She actually first appeared on our stage here in 1959. She was 13 years old, and that was her debut. Her uncle backed her up, and she covered a George Jones song on a Saturday Night Opry here.
In my coat of many colors.
She would go on to spin hit after hit with chart-topping songs like 9 to 5, Jolene, Coat of Many Colors, and I Will Always Love You. With that song becoming a top hit for R&B legend Whitney Houston, her family telling WSMV last summer that song had a lasting impact on the late singer.
Dolly Parton knew exactly what she was doing. It's a great song. Whitney felt the song, and we're so grateful to Dolly, still with the connection that she still has with, the Houstons.
We asked the Queen of Country Music how her music transcended genres.
Well, I think every songwriter wants to believe that they can write, for the whole wide world and write about people in any situation. So the fact that I'm a songwriter makes me think I can do that. And then being here tonight, hearing my songs done like this, makes me believe it too.
Showing why her artistry through music, literature, and philanthropy is inspiring even the smallest of people, like Hallie, who went viral on social media after expressing her love for Dolly.
Because she gave me books. She gives you books? Yeah.
A woman who took her love beyond the stage while staying true to her roots.
Oh, that's so awesome. And that's like you, Kiki, though, bringing the kids and, telling one day, you'll remember. And yeah, she just amazing. Like I said, an icon. I also, when she put the cookware in Dollar General, I went and got like the little spatula, but all of the stuff was so cute. And her logo was butterflies, right? Like on that is like a baby blue butterfly. I'll have to take a picture of it and upload it to the video. I'll make a video for you guys. So exactly. Yeah. Oh gosh, no. I mean, I'm from Chicago, so I mean, you didn't have to be a country fan to love Dolly, but I love country music because I always thought, a lot of country music tells a story, like there's some really beautiful songs out there, talented singers. So, but yeah, I just always liked Dolly. And like I said, I also liked the movie Steel Magnolias. So, um, yeah, Barb says I grew up with Dolly. So sad. Yeah, it's a sad day for me. I know. I understand that, Barb. Um, but yeah, that's the first thing I heard this morning when I woke up was that, and I'm like, oh boy, because like I said, I was also listening about Hayden Panettiere, and again, just kind of trying to figure out what happened there, what could have happened, um, with that situation because for me, it's still really up in the air whether, it was. I mean, I'm sure when the tox screen comes back, there's going to be, drugs in her system. So she said Elvis tried to buy the rights to um, I'll always love you. And she said, no, sir, but I'll sing it with you. Yeah. I mean, hey, that's the thing. I mean, woo, the music industry can be really tough. Excuse me, like any industry, I guess, that you're in, where basically people, you know, can be greedy. And once people have a rights, well, we all know, well, us creators, I guess, know about copyright. So, um, but yeah, it could cause like a lot of issues. But Dolly's so sweet. Like she just is a kind person. Actually, wasn't Leanne Rimes first picked to sing that for the movie, but the excuse was bigger. Her age wasn't appropriate, but Whitney did do it. Awesome. Um, I don't think so because Whitney's older than Leanne Rimes, and I thought she did it. I don't think so. My PTSD, but maybe. I don't know. I'm a huge Whitney Houston fan, though. Um, just love her, and of course, grew up in that time. Um, yeah, it's so cute from Dollar General. I know Kiki is so cute. And it's like I wanted to buy like the whole set thing, but then it was like I couldn't figure out whether I wanted to get, because they had like the red, I think it was like red and white or something, and then the blue, and of course I like the blue, but they had like the little pans and stuff, which she and I were talking about it because I was like, and I remember Justin, our friend Justin from Clutch Them Pearls did an unboxing when they came out with that. And I was like, that is so awesome. And I mean, the thing about Dolly is she made it affordable for other people to have it. You know what I mean? Like, where it wasn't like an arm and a leg to have it. And it's just really cute little inspirational messages. So, yeah, Elvis is so awesome. He's, I don't like the way he dances. No, I'm just kidding, Joe. Who remembers the '80s when every Thanksgiving the best little uh, wish list in Texas. Which I don't know. Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, I don't know what that says. Oh, okay. Dolly was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, a couple of years ago. Yeah, yeah. You should have been. You should have seen her outfit. Ava says, yeah, she always had the best clothes and everything. Like, even though, um, I don't know. That's the thing too. You just kind of like learn to do your own thing, especially when you're not working with a whole lot. But them saying she works so hard, and um, so yeah, and all the butterflies. Yeah, yeah, I know, because they were so cute. Like they were like blue butterflies too, Joe. So the lodge skillet, yes, yes, they're just so cute. Okay, let's watch.
That humility, it all made Dolly so relatable. We have been hearing from fans all day long about how much Dolly meant to them. Today, our Diana Rocco is at the Country Music Hall of Fame and was there this afternoon talking to fans who were shocked and saddened to hear the news of her passing.
Dolly was an innovator and a champion for women, but what is so clear by the tribute here is that she meant so much to so many. Her picture now hangs on the Country Music Hall of Fame, advertising her exhibit, which is now on display. And there has been a lot of sadness, but also shock from fans who once thought of her as invincible. There's also a lot of celebration for a life well lived. Fans began placing flowers at Dolly's star as soon as they heard the news early this afternoon. Inside the Hall of Fame rotunda, where Dolly has a plaque since 1999, fans began signing a memorial book, and the mood there was very somber.
She's an absolute legend. She brings strength to so many women around the world. Her career has been prolific. She means a lot to me and so many of my friends.
Wow, look at that lady's snake earrings. Holy Moses. You guys see those? I'm sorry, I don't know why I, got off track a little bit like that, but those are really beastly. Um yeah, all of them have like a little guitar too. That's on the same thing. I'll have to show you guys a picture. Um Good night, Barb. Thank you for being here. I know we're not really talking a whole lot of true crime except for Kiki and I were, but like I said, I really wanted to cover and give a tribute to Dolly too.
As an idol, she brings strength, and she just had such a big heart. She was a true human being.
A short time ago, a wreath was also laid at Dolly's star, the first of many tributes in the days to come. In Nashville, I'm Diana Rocco, WSMV4.
Okay, guys. So yeah, I mean, like everybody has the same, wonderful things to say about Dolly, you know? So yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun, Barb. Yeah, I hope you have a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, and I think all of it, like, I know, like I was telling Butchie, I'm pretty sure we've used the one, the one that, I have, but it's not like a lot of wear and tear or anything. Like, they work really, really well, and they're just cute. And it's like inspirational messages. So, um, Lady Freedom, you going to make me need oxygen or bathroom break? Oh my goodness. I know I'll never be famous, but this is the way I would love for people to say about me one day. Well, yeah, I mean, like everybody, I think, especially if you're a good person, wants people to know that. And also, I don't want people to be like sad like that one lady. I felt bad for her with the earrings, but then I also was like, youch, because that looked like it kind of hurt with those earrings. But then again, I mean, I agree with what she was saying. And it's like, yeah, I hope that people think that too and don't cry. Like, you know what I mean? Just remember me. Like I said, you really got to watch Mr. and Mrs. E's tribute. They did such a beautiful job. And I don't know, just so beautiful. Oh, that's cute. A cup of ambition. Yeah, I think that's what they were, like some of them said that on, like, there was different sayings on the different pieces. So, hello, MZ. Good to see you. It's a crime Dolly was taken from us so soon. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Joe. Yeah. But like I don't think that when I think of Dolly, she lived a really good life, and she, was an older lady, and so, but I think she's definitely going to live on through her music and just the way that she treated people, the way that she was just like a really beautiful soul. So, yes, Leslie, it was so nice. It was so nice to see everybody too. Like, it was just so nice to see Mr. and Mrs. E and Aunt E get back up there and, talk with us. And like I said, I always enjoyed their coverage, all of the coverage that they've put out has been just, so great. They really dive into subjects and then cover a lot of the cases. Like I was really trying with Devlin's case, and it's like the E's had no problem taking that case on and doing such a great job. So, um, I know exactly my PTSD, and I think that's what she would want too. You know what I mean? Just obviously, I don't know Dolly Parton, but it just seems like she would want people to like have fun, listen to her music, remember her. So her biggest scandal was fighting to hold on to that song, I Will Always Love You. Yeah, I mean, like Cinderella. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, like she just like I know a lot of times people like I've seen her in interviews and she can hold her own. Like when somebody tries to talk down to her, she's like, nah, not having it, but she does it in such a way that it's just like it's like just so good. It's super classy.
One of Dolly's many accomplishments was all in the business world. In fact, the hotel that she's going to have in Nashville is still being built. The finishing touches there happening. And our Steve Manley caught up with people inside and outside that hotel who went there to pay their respects.
It's tributes just like this. You're going to find them just about anywhere you look today. But for both tourists, for locals who are here, the lights on Broadway are shining a little less bright tonight. Dozens of people showed up to Dolly's Songteller Hotel, which is still being built, to pay their respects to the queen of country music. Some brought flowers. Others just took a moment to remember her. The common denominator you'll always find with Dolly Parton is how much she is loved by anyone who knew her.
Southern hospitality. It's just what you do. You bring flowers. It's somewhere to put our grief in. We immediately thought, let's just go show some love. Just trying to make it beautiful, like Dolly, bedazzle it a little bit.
When I think about Dolly, it's like she grew up poor, and with no privilege. And she worked so hard and made it to Nashville. And then when she made it to Nashville, just a self-made woman, and went through a lot, but what she went through to get there and what she's done for the world is just, you can't touch it,
You could ask any.
Oh my gosh, that's so well said too, Can't touch Dolly. Can't touch Dolly. Sorry, Joe. It's like, can't touch Dolly. Yes. And oh my goodness, right? Yeah. I mean, it's just like, and she has like so many people that just love and adore her. I mean, she's just amazing. She was an inspiration to women, yep, and men too, to follow their dreams and believe in themselves. And if you can't travel physically, you can do it through reading. Yeah, absolutely, Witchy. And, I mean, she just has such a strong message for everybody, I think. And, just all the things that she would put out into the world was always just, kindness and love and very inspirational story. As that guy was saying also, it's like she made herself, she worked really hard and, but she also went like above and beyond too, right? Because she did things for the good. Trump asked flags to be at half staff for her. Really? Oh, he better. Kiki. It's funny. Hello, Andrea. Good to see you. Aw, that's sweet though. She definitely was for my nephew and his parents anti anything but straight, and he is not. So was was from his home area, sweet and caring lady. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I think people could feel her warmth. Like, again, her authenticity is, so um, noticed, about her. So, Joe, Andrea, Andrea, Joe's getting, I mean, I just tell people don't take him seriously. I don't know what he's talking about. Half the time I'm behind in chat, and he knows that. Joe just comes in when I'm behind in chat, like, ooh, I can't wait. That was very cool. I think so too. Hey, we again, like, it's about doing the things for people. Um, I mean, honoring other people, respecting other people. Um, it is a wonderful thing. I agree, Sharon. I think it's a great thing. Um, like I said, ignore Joe. He just always, he's got to be, he likes to push the envelope. He's brash, but respectful. My goodness. He's bad. Yeah, he gets put in timeout sometimes. It just happens.
Anyone what Dolly's legacy is, and odds are you're going to find a different answer every time. You can imagine they're going to be just as great as the impact she's left here on the state of Tennessee and on the world as a whole. Reporting here in downtown Nashville, Steve Bailey, WSW4.
So as this memorial continues to grow, I have a feeling folks will be coming out here. It is really dark here in Crockett Road in Brentwood. There are 2 police officers trying to make sure that nobody gets hit in the process. If you want to come out at any point, just know that you want to be careful. And I'm sure tomorrow, Hunter, these fans will continue to bring forth their offerings, their cards, their sweet messages, their balloons, their candles, and their flowers for Dolly Parton, gone at age 80 today. Hunter, I'll be back with more right after the first break here of this newscast. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, so beautiful to see that sentiment there behind you. No doubt a somber, but as you mentioned, joyous day for everybody who watched, listened, and loved the icon. That was Dolly Parton. Again, Tracy, thank you for your coverage. We'll pick it.
Okay, guys. So Dolly's awesome, and I'll definitely make a video tribute for Dolly Parton because she is just amazing. There we go. Hold on, let's put me back there. So we love Joe. He cracks me up. Sometimes, we just need a little bit of humor. Just a little bit of humor, and don't talk about Joe's truck, Ava. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes, you do a good job. You do a good job some of the times. Some of the time it's good, but we do love Joe. He makes us laugh. I think doesn't Justin have like Joe spray, like the little spray bottles? I need to update your guys' emojis. We need to do a little bit of an update, but the man card still stands. I still have the man card emoji. We're keeping that going, but yeah, I think we have enough people that I can do some more emojis, so that'll be fun to do that. So um, yeah, or his mama. Oh my goodness! And then Kathy Bowersox does the most. Ava, she just does. She does the most to just try to stir the pot. You know what I mean? Like, it's bad enough that we have Chris and Katie Proudfoot, who, again, I just feel like they should be arrested. Like, they should have been. Let me just say this: they should have been arrested before, in my opinion, and they never were. And so now here we are, 2.5 years later. But the way that everything transpired, it's very hard to believe that Chris and Katie, don't have involvement. And in my opinion, the way that everything went down with so many people knowing is atrocious. And I feel like that's the main focus that everybody needs to focus on, is the fact that DCS has failed Sebastian Rogers on so many levels, but the layers and the people who were involved, like the CPIT team, right? The Child Protective Investigative Team, the FAST 2.0, all of those things were done. You had the Child Advocacy Center involved in some capacity. You had the Assistant District Attorney involved in some capacity. Um, you had the current District Attorney, Ray Whitley, who has since retired, and the Assistant District Attorney has moved also. You have Ray Whitley saying that he, was going to do everything he could to bring justice, and then he ended up retiring. I mean, we have layers of corruption and multiple people who are involved, and high level people. There was also court proceedings in the juvenile court pertaining to Sebastian Rogers, but his father was never notified. And then we have Seth, who was, notified that his child is missing. And I think all of those things are more important to look at than many of the things. But again, there's so much involvement. And also, there's a detective that was assigned allegedly to Sebastian's case. And that detective was not named in the filing. But I would like to know who that detective was and how much of Sumner County knew about Chris, Katie, and Sebastian's household. I think that is a huge question that will be answered in the discovery. So I am really praying that Seth's court ends up going well come November, because I personally feel like Sebastian was failed on so many levels. It's being called gross negligence, and it is like utterly disgusting. You know, they have enough, exactly, Ava. They have enough to arrest them for neglect and abuse. And they've had enough of it. They've had enough evidence to do that. Hardcore evidence, as Chris likes to call it, because, he likes to call it hardcore evidence. If I was those people, I'd send myself to hell or Switzerland at this point. Horrendous. Well, my PTSD, instead, Katie comes up and she talks about how we think that Sebastian is the monster and the predator and the horrible person and all of this. But, I mean, really, I never thought that for a second. I'm disgusted at Katie, because if what Truth is saying is true, then Sebastian deserves justice from Katie too. Because any mother that is going to stand there and not immediately turn away is a very vile person and predatory person. So while she's saying that everybody thinks that her son's a predator and she's up there to tell everybody that he's not a predator, I would have to say that I think that she is the one that is a predator, if that is true. Period. End of story. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. That's horrific. you know? So, Kiki says, I agree, lady. I believe it's against state law for Seth to not be notified of court hearing. Yeah, I mean, and there were two of them, apparently. So, I mean, I don't know why he wasn't notified of any of this. And then his son goes missing, and he finds out on Smiley's podcast that I guess, I mean, again, there's people that absolutely know. And I believe Chris and Katie are those people. But Chris was telling Smiley a lot of what was going on in the filings, but he was mixing stories up. But that's what they said that Sebastian was doing. And he wasn't. In my opinion, he was telling the truth. So, excuse me, in my opinion, we know that he hit Sebastian with a belt. We know that he took his stuff and made him put it in a bag and then take it to the trash can and then take the can to the end of the driveway. We know that he had his TV stolen from him. We know that out of his room, his stepfather straight up deboed his TV and put it in his camper. I mean, what the... And then we know that he pushed Sebastian up against a wall whenever Sebastian would, quote, misbehave. We know that Sebastian was afraid of his stepfather. We know that Sebastian was supposed to wear a belt because Chris wanted him to start wearing pull-ups. And Sebastian didn't have a belt on, so Chris backhanded him in the stomach. Just backhanded him in the stomach. It's terrible. Multiple pond scum covering for each other for not addressing the CPS reports early on. I think many will spill the beans as to not be caught up in the failures. Well, and Sharon, it has to be, I agree with you so much, and then it has to be where it's like all starting to, cave in on itself. Like everything's just kind of coming to a head, in my opinion. It just really is. It's just everything's kind of coming to a head, and it's like the truth keeps coming out, and it's a good thing. It's just so sad to know, and it's like you said, so many people are just keeping the secrets, which sometimes you can't tell all the time. I get it, right? I'm not faulting anybody, but it's like it's high time that people started coming forward. And in the beginning, I just think that they made a decision, the police, that is, not to do the right thing, because they should have immediately gotten Chris and Katie once they knew about the CPS reports. Now, the caveat is that they didn't know about the CPS reports, and a detective was assigned to it, and the people that were initially on Sebastian's case didn't look into it right away, something like that. But that's no excuse. Again, it's their job to do it. It's definitely their job to do it. In my opinion, I'm not sure why KP and CP are not being watched by LE or FBI. Makes no sense. MZ, I would be watching them like a damn hawk. I agree. I'd be watching them. I mean, I'd be watching the Sox. I'd be watching the whole Foot Clan. Wonder who was in the court hearing that day from Research Lady. If they had a hearing, CPS could have absolutely, in my opinion, sent him to a home. Well, and this is my thing, Kiki, because there's, 29 schools that they could have sent him to. Bledsoe Youth Academy used to be, a place where the boys, it was a residential treatment center or whatever, but it's not anymore. It's an assessment center. So they could have absolutely assessed him and put him someplace else. And we don't even know who those schools are affiliated with. It's so maddening. And I feel like the FBI needs to look into all of this stuff. Like, if they would really put resources to finding Sebastian, I think they could do it. It's all going to come back to Chris and Katie. But the fact that Sumner County is holding on because they have jurisdiction and we can't get it out of their kung fu grip, sorry, pisses me off, you know, then the FBI doesn't have the whole story. They don't have all the evidence. So I'm just hoping that Seth wins because he will get a new investigation. That's part of what they're asking for in the filing. And anybody that can't get on board with the filing, in my opinion, doesn't want to find Sebastian, because that's the key. Do you think that I really care if Seth becomes a millionaire? I hope he does. I do. Because I feel like he was so wronged. But the real wonderful part about all of it is that Sebastian will get a new look at his case, a new investigation into what happened to him, and it might lead us to him. I can't say it will 100%. Neither can Seth, neither can any of us. But I'm praying, and I think that God will help there. I do. So, I mean, that's all we can hope for. In my opinion, CP thoughts sealing those DCS files would make everything go away, allegedly. In my opinion, yeah, Cinderella, and it's so hard to get them anyway. Like, it is so hard. And they're definitely not for public consumption because they do not want to be held accountable. But then we're also seeing YouTubers that are doing the same thing or kick people, right? I don't know what to call the kickers. I don't know what to call them. But either way, you guys know what I mean. People that are streaming on other platforms. And there's nothing wrong with that either, right? TikTok, any of those things. I need to be better about that myself. But it's like, I don't know. Ugh, I don't know. But I think Seth getting those records and knowing what he knows now, he's able to also shine a light on it for us. And anybody that doesn't want to understand that the filings are also asking for both agencies' accountability and for Sebastian's case to be looked into and reinvestigated. That's the biggest thing. So, and anybody that thinks that Sebastian should go back to a house where he's afraid of his stepfather, I can't help you. I cannot help you. All I can tell you is to quit being a Richard. Ava says, in my opinion, the whole damn family are predators. I mean, look at Cruella Bowersox. Cruella Bowersox is something else. She goes around and tells people that we ought to be ashamed of ourselves, that we're lying, and they're going to be getting an apology. She's just like Chris, I mean, Chris is just like her, probably so. I just keep hearing KP fake crying and rocking in the interview saying he wasn't in trouble. Well, we totally know it's fake crying because we've heard Katie cry for real 2 times. Right? We've heard her do it, and she's doing it for herself. And she gets that high pitch and she starts panicking and she's like, oh, and you can hear her in the background, but you can't quite hear what she's saying because she goes into another room and starts freaking out. But you can hear her having a full ass come apart. Yeah, she did that for herself, in my opinion. I mean, it's not for Sebastian. It was when people were going to find out about her mom. And then, or when people did find out already, because the JLR put it out already, in my opinion. But and then also with this safe word, code word. I wasn't on the phone call. I don't know. A safe word to me, saying a safe word to a child, that's kind of gross. And safe word just sounds, it just sounds disgusting. Hey Brad, sounds disgusting. What gets me upset is Jennifer Coffindoffer, a former FBI agent, is not bringing enough awareness to the case. No excuse. Well, she got her FBI badge out of a Cracker Jack box, in my opinion, Brad. I mean, but I'm right there with you. I think that, anybody that's going to have Seth on the show and wants to talk about the filing should read the filing, and she should know that was so, in my opinion, that was very unprofessional. But we see people doing that, and then again, I feel like Sebastian's failed in the process. you know I mean, Sebastian gets lost, and it's very sad. Kiki says, in my opinion, I've always felt like CP and KP has put Sebastian out in a bad light. When will they admit that they're in the wrong, in my opinion? Well, I mean, they did. And see, I was playing Seth's interviews, and Seth's interviews were really hard to listen to because he was in so much pain. He was having to tell us personal stuff because they were putting that stuff out that we wouldn't want to look for Sebastian. Like, they're the ones that painted Sebastian in a bad light. Absolutely, Kiki, and you've got it. It's that's what they've done. And they're the ones that turned it into a circus. I mean, I think that Chris McDonough would have Chris and Katie on any day of the week. But they're not going to go on there. I mean, look how Josh from the lab was treated by Chris Proudfoot. And Josh was telling the truth, right? He knew about some of it, right? And then because it started to come out, because Chris Proudfoot told Holly Thompson that there was no CPS reports in Tennessee. No CPS reports in Tennessee. Only one in New Mexico about his daughter because of his ex-wife, and she's a hothead, right? That's what he was trying to say about Nina. And then Trevor Lee does the interview. We find out Nina's not the one that's a hothead. Yeah, she did slap the shit out of Chris Proudfoot, though. Okay, I'm not gonna say she didn't, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying, whatever. But she at least took responsibility and owned her own part of things, which is more than I can say for you, Mr. Foot. Brad says, what gets me upset is Jennifer. Oh, sorry, I already read that one. Sorry about that. KP, you lied, didn't you? You grounded him so he wouldn't have his phone on him when he went missing. Piggy Chris. Piggy Chris. Oh my goodness, took his TV, you liar, KP. I know. And see, here's the thing, like, Sebastian's supposedly grounded, and Seth is like, well, he didn't have his TV in there, and he said that his switch was plugged in, but then his phone was plugged in the kitchen. I mean, it's like they probably staged things, and a lot of the stuff is a script, guys, and I felt like that from the beginning because Chris never acts like he's telling the story as if he is in Memphis, and we don't even have an alibi for that guy. It's a fucking mess. It is a total shit show. And Seth doesn't deserve that. He just doesn't. So yeah, I hope he sues the pants off of them and Sebastian gets a new investigation. Rosebud said there's a channel out on these streets going over the litigation and really biased against Seth. Yeah, that's Chai Crimes. That idiot that runs with Krama Chronicles, that runs with Elevated Truth and calls him boss. Yeah, Rosebud, I know what you're talking about. They're not too informed. They're fucking morons, in my opinion. low sub channel, but clearly you can tell they don't agree with Seth, and that's okay. They're, but they're, trust me when I say I know exactly who they are. And if you ride with any of those people, like Crama Reels and Crama Chronicles, Grimy Crime, it's just probably not a good idea to run over here because I don't associate with people who act like that. As a matter of fact, I will tell somebody off if I have to because I set up boundaries. Those people are people that go real life. They try to do horrible things to other people. It's terrible. It's terrible what they've done to Seth, and they want to get on Chris and Katie's payroll and their little tiny channels, and they're doing the most. And it's disgusting. Again, like I don't know any, other revolting, vile. MZ says, threaten not to tell your dad. Wow, this guy all around bully. Real stand up guy. Not exactly. Exactly. That reminds me too of just all the threats that have happened. Just all the threats that have happened. It's ridiculous. Why is Sebastian's case so scandalous? Kiki says they would have called it an emergency removal lady and then sealed records, and Seth wouldn't even know it, in my opinion. I agree. I agree. That's why I try to tell people, I'm like, that theory is, in my opinion, a solid one. Because of the way it's set up, because of the way it went down, because of the Title IV, because of all of it. Look, we only know about 2 CPS reports. There's 2 more out there. And then there's the 5th one that initiated all of the discovery period, right? With the assessment, the FAST 2.0 assessment. So, yeah. And, there was either a tip or something that landed them at the landfill. Some of the stuff, is the truth and some of it's not. We know that they ended up at the landfill because they came out and made a public statement. That's what's great about being an American living in the U.S. Yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely, Rosebud. JC is totally unreliable. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, yeah, and that's the thing. As if Seth doesn't have enough BS. So, hey, Titch, good to see you. I hope he is reunited with Sebastian and they both become millionaires and live the best life possible together. That is my hope too, Titch. Exactly. Exactly. May they never have to come back on the YouTube streets again unless they want to. Maybe Sebastian might want to show us his animals or something like that, but I just feel like no one wants to find Sebastian for some reason. Well, here's the thing, Brad. I think that we definitely could help move things in the right direction if we put the public pressure on, and the hardest part about it is that it's hard to know where to search. It's very hard to know where to search. That's why I love what Jen does, because at least she has hotspots so we could go search those, right? Because we don't know which way the car went in the neighborhood. If we think that the 3 a.m. lights with the car is how Sebastian got out of the house that night, because the police are saying there's no evidence. Well, we saw the flashlight video, right? And so that we know about the 3 a.m. car. So if that's the case, right, then we don't even know which way they went or where they went from there. So it's super frustrating. And a lot of people don't think that Sebastian even made it home. Again, with Jen and all of her hard work, she has 2 maps. She has a map from the Texas Roadhouse, and then she has a map from Sebastian's house. because she did another map also for Seth, because Seth's proof of life was Texas Roadhouse video. That's what he's seen when we watched Sebastian walk out. That's what they showed Seth. That was the proof of life video for him. You know, yeah, they're not going to be able to hide much longer. The pressure is on, Scranton. The pressure is on. And I think a lot of people are interested in what everybody has to say. And again, I didn't speak. I'm not going to call Truth a liar, because I didn't speak to any of the feet. Liberty says they are a crime family. Oh, are you talking about Mr. and Mrs. E and Aunt E? It's the discovery that will open up a lot of doors and nothing to stop the questioning of certain people. Yeah, absolutely, Rosebud. And, that's the bigger picture. That's what we really need to be focused on, and that's where the answers will come, and hopefully something will come of it. I just that's my main hope. Well, Brad, he was saying things, and Cruella Bowersox called Sebastian a predator on the phone to Seth. You know, it's as if they were justifying hurting him or sending him away, right? Because I don't know either one on that either. And that's the problem in Seth's lawsuit, too. I mean, it's stated right in there. He doesn't know what happened to his son. He doesn't know where he is, so, he should be found by now. But, the things that Chris and Katie have said about Sebastian have definitely been false. And many times they've painted him in a negative light. And I'll never forget Peter Hyatt talking about that very thing, and how unfortunate it is, because it definitely makes them look guilty. Titch says, Brad, because in my opinion, then we will find out that he is nothing like the monster CP and KP try to portray him as, and they have no excuse but to accept they are the monsters. Yeah, and Chris, when he says, I'm not a monster, I know everybody thinks I'm a monster or whatever, and it's like, you are. When you have a kid that's afraid of you and you're supposed to be their stepfather, gross. Yeah, guys, and definitely please get this printed out and take it to, your representatives. I know that Seth is putting together, an initiative and some direction for us as well, but this is how you can, spread around Sebastian's law. Um, I really want to help out with that campaign, so as much as we can, because I know it's a massive undertaking, but I also think it was so awesome of Brandy, Michael Monkey Vaughn's mom, to come in and, give us some insight as to, what she thinks we should do to get Sebastian's law passed as well. So if we could all, again, work together, I mean, we need each other to do it. So, Bo, thank you so much for posting that also. And then, guys, you get it to your appropriate state people, because we need people in multiple states for that. Um, I mean, again, I know it's going to be a big project, but it can happen. And I always have to point to Jana, Crystal's sister, right? She has had laws passed. She fights every day, tooth and nail, for justice for her sister. She never stops, you guys. And the thing is that she got a federal law passed. Same thing with Haley Busby's family. They're working to get Haley's law passed. They almost have every district in the state turned pink. It can absolutely happen, and it's so easy for us to do it too, and spread awareness online, because then that what you can do in your area to make that happen for Sebastian. And the more that we do these things and put these protections in, guys, we're setting the, you know future people up for, something really positive, and it's something good that we can do. Get our noses out of the drama and stuff like that, because a lot of it is, and focus on the good stuff that we can do to really, really help and make a difference. A crime family that has connections with all the people in political and legal positions of power. Their family goes way back in Sumner County, Tennessee. Oh, okay, yes, I know what you're talking about now. You're talking about the feet, the Foot Clan. Sorry, Liberty. Um, so yeah, absolutely. Um, that's why the corruption is so deep on so many levels. I mean, think of all of the agencies involved in the search for Sebastian, knowing that Chris and Katie were the culprits. I mean, really let that sink in, you guys, because I know that sounds like a tinfoil hat statement from me. And if you don't know Sebastian's case, and you're probably going to be like, what did she say? Yes, it is. All you have to do is read the filing. And now that my voice is like back to 100% too, and I'm not sick anymore, because that thing hung around. I don't know what I had. It's probably the coronavirus. But anyway, um, now that I'm back to better on my voice, I'm going to go ahead and try to get those filings out, like do one for the police filing Sumner County and the other one for DCS, and get those out so that way they're like audible for you guys to listen to, and share. The more people that are aware of this, the more coverage, the more um, people understand what Seth has gone through, in my opinion, the better. Right. And I'm not talking about the people that are very ignorant, closed minded, people that don't have a heart. I'm talking about people who care about Sebastian, who care about the fact that Seth has been put through the ringer. And no father, no mother, no parent, caregiver, their children should never go missing and them not know anything about it, like this with the CPS involvement. I mentioned all the other people. It's horrible, so hello, Poppy. It is November 12th. November 12th. It's not a hearing. It is a it is a conference. So we shall see. But like I said, really, we can intentionally pray for that day and stuff. And it's good to see you, Poppy. I think that, and thank you so much, Witchy Mama. I think that Akiki, when I see that, ladies, these days, sorry guys, it's probably personal. Yeah, exactly. We're not going anywhere. KP and CP, we are Sebastian's army. That's right. That's right. And I mean, there's so much to go over to MZ, because like I said, um, I have a lot of good videos I've been working to put together, like on a timeline. It's just, I want to make sure I get all of it all in together, and you know, just that way we have it, and we can, work from there on a timeline and different things like that. So, hey, Runs with Scissors, good to see ya. So, no, they're horrible at lying. Oh my gosh, they're horrible. They are so horrible at lying, MZ. They are horrible at lying. And, Katie turns all bright red and shiny. I'm just kidding. I don't know why she's so shiny in that one interview. It's like he's really a script. Oh, like no, I know, which it's like he is reading a script. Yeah, well, and it's also Chris, it's like when he's in a different location than Katie, you would expect him to say things like, I heard Sebastian got up and there was a thud. You know what I mean? But it's always like we on that, right? And um, I don't know. Again, we don't even know if this guy has an alibi, you know? So as the darkness ascends and the light is shining through, closer to the answers, unmasking the cold, dark truth. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's so, so sad. Runs with scissors. That's beautiful sentiment. And thank you for that. Um, yeah, Sebastian, excuse me, Sebastian is so loved and it's so sad what he's had to go through. You know, I hate that he's been failed so many times. I hate the internet circus of things. And thank you guys for the jewels. I think it was like a non justice something channel. It's very gross. I enjoy knowing the fact how ill informed they all really are. Well, they're that one person claims to be because she's quite frequently on that channel, that panel on Kick. And she says that she's like law enforcement or something weird. Like another thing, too, guys. I mean, I don't know. Unless you get like Chris McDonough says street cred, then you might not want to believe what people are saying their profession is. I'm this, and I have an aunt who's on this in the CIA and crap like that. I mean, I dealt with that with Rich and Ruby, and he was telling me he was a Navy SEAL, and I'm like, there's no way that's true. And it wasn't. So, I mean, it's just people aren't always who they seem on here. We'll just say that. MCE, good to see you, says I don't. When I first started watching Sebastian's case, I stumbled on Truth, Clue, etc., and backed off really quick, but did watch any lives replays. Well, I mean, some of the stuff, you know, I mean, includes live streams with Chris and Katie. Chris does a lot of vile shit, you know, that could be definitely used against him should anybody decide to hold him accountable. You know, but that's the frustrating part is that nobody's decided to hold these people accountable, you know, and like there's a lot of really sick things that were said. The thing is too with Sebastian's case, with what's come out with what Truth has said, and as Kiki was saying when she was on the panel earlier, it's like if he's telling the truth about that, which I think he is, because again, he's saying he's willing to get sued, and most of the time people don't want to be sued. Like they'll say, I'm sorry I said that, right? Because they're not a jerk. People who are like, oh, I'm sorry I said that, I didn't realize that wasn't true, kind of a thing. But he's doubling down and he's like, no, that's the truth. I don't know what else to tell you guys besides that. And I'll go to court. I'll stand up for what I'm saying. So, me too, Bo. Me too. Me too. It's just because, like I said, I'm still recovering from these trips as well. But, yeah. Excuse me, I had to sneeze, and I just said, I'm over this, the bug that I got, and then I sneezed. Rosebud says, let's not forget the protection order Nina filed in early 2024. It's like a puzzle all coming together, in my opinion. So, yeah, I have a screenshot of that, Rosebud. I have that as well. Everything that we believed for the longest time in the beginning, like that's why it's so frustrating too, because this shit was not rumors. It was all true. But people were saying it was rumors. They're like, oh, that's just a rumor mill. That's just, rumors. No. Because I believe that the ultimatum definitely existed the whole entire time. It's either him or me, right? Chris has given Katie some ultimatums in the past when it comes to the cats. So, I mean, he doesn't have a problem doing that. It's do it my way or it's the fucking highway. And that's a narcissist all day. My way or the highway, a narcissist all day. Right? And I'm not talking about in just one situation or another, right? I'm talking about when it's always like that. And that's it. And he wanted his daughter from Nina. He wanted to take his daughter away from her mother. He didn't want Sebastian in the picture, and he didn't want Sebastian around his daughter Faith. And that's what he was telling people also which was prompting people to ask Seth, well, how come people don't want, or excuse me, how come Chris is not wanting Faith to be around Sebastian, or Sebastian around Faith? And then Seth was like, if you continue to say things like that, I'm going to have to, tell them what's really going on. And then he did, you know. But yeah, and then Chris also had a court date, and he yelled at Nina over the phone, I won't be there. I'm not going to go, or, whatever. Jerk. A good way to gauge CP and his stupid, illogical opinions about Sebastian is to remember when he told Clue and gang that Sebastian ate girls' food because he ate sushi. I mean, that tells you all. Yeah, exactly. Well, and I mean, I think that was a lot of the reason. Look, Chris is such a bigot, and I agree with you 100%, Titch. I mean, he is just one of those people that, because of what happened to Sebastian and the trauma that happened to him, he is going to, he was afraid that he was going to hurt him if he found out about it, too, right? So, I mean, they were always disparaging and degrading Sebastian as well. And, Seth's mom had also reported things of that nature, you know? So we got shit to give instead of not giving a poop like others. My PTSD, that's funny. Oh my goodness. I'm so broke I can't even pay attention. Oh my goodness, Scranton. That's funny. Right, PTSD, we stand for the truth and whatever it takes to come out. I mean, it just is what it is. And the thing is they've never told the truth. And again, I just feel like everybody's been completely misled from the beginning, and then truth comes out and he's like, you've all been lied to. And it's like, well, what else is new? But again, what do you know about it? Please do share. And no one is talking about the audio that was discovered that night. Whatever happened to that, I just disappeared into the void, in my opinion. It was quite interesting. Are you talking about the audio from the Ring camera? Because I do have that. It's so hard to make out. I was going to try to see if I could enhance it. Yeah, I mean, I think so, Scranton, because again, like, I don't know. That's why I did leave that part where he was, after he got off the live with Seth, where he's like, what the fuck is happening? Because, I mean, I don't know if you guys, I should have probably left that part in, but Chris was the one that was being called to come on Truth's panel, and Truth dropped the link like I did for Kiki. And he's like, come on up, Chris, come on up, Chris. And then Seth went in there and took the link. So that's how he ended up on Truth's panel, even. So, because as a lot of people say, Chris is a little bitch, and those are not my words. I've just heard a lot of men say that Chris Proudfoot is a little bitch. And then it is alleged that Chris Proudfoot has low T as well. So that's a limp noodle, in my opinion. In my opinion, KP should have been held accountable for neglect, at least in my opinion. I think so too, because she allowed for it, MZ. That's why I can't with Katie even. I mean, I've tried really hard, and I mean, here's the thing, it's not an excuse. Like, even if Chris is, abusing Katie, because that was weird too, that Chris automatically assumed a safe word would be if he's, beating Katie up. That was quite the shocker, I think, for a lot of people too. And Chris had a lot of admissions himself. I mean, he even admitted that they were at the casino And people were in my comments and they're like, lady, that's not Chris and Katie. And I was like, it is, I promise. They're like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, all right, And then he gets up there. He's like, yeah, that was me. And I'm like, okay, well, good. I knew it was. I didn't need you to, admit it, but thanks for that. Rosebud said a good point to remember that Peter Hyatt said too was even though law enforcement says the person is cooperating, doesn't give them exoneration in an ongoing investigation. Yeah, I don't think I've gone over all of the Peter Hyatts, Rosebud. I would like to do that. That would be good to do. MCE says, so this was probably a year ago, but was sent with the video with the 3M vehicle. Yeah. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. It's the one, like, in a certain point you can hear what sounds to be Katie. A lot of it is very low because I think they might have been whispering. Um it's it's very difficult to make out, but I know exactly what you're talking about cuz yeah, I've been working on trying to enhance it um too. So, and I mean, there's probably only so much that I can do, but I don't know why the FBI hasn't enhanced that. So, but the thing that's hard is that I'm not sure how that audio came about, unless some of you guys are, if you guys know about how that audio came out. Peter Hyatt said he thought he'd seen outside as a punishment. Well, I mean, I'll tell you that the one CPS report that came out at 9:30 p.m. had to have been a neighbor, in my opinion. And then it had to have probably been the same neighbor who said that, they heard Chris Proudfoot say that he hated Sebastian and wanted Sebastian to die. And that's disgusting and horrible. And then you have people on the other side who are, shaming people like Bullhorn Betty, who is, wondering, you know, what they did to hurt Sebastian, right? And they're like, oh, I can't believe that she thinks that. And it's like, well, if he says that he hated his stepson and wanted him to die, what do you think we're supposed to think after that? That's pretty friggin' grim, in my opinion. But I also think that, there's a couple of clues that Sebastian is still alive. And, that's my opinion. And there's no evidence that he's not, right? I mean, but again, it makes me sick to think that. It makes me sick to think that he was afraid of his stepdad. It makes me want to, kick him in the low T. And, lady, will we get to hear the results from it? I think that would probably be up to the discretion of Seth and his lawyer, you know? Um, it would be my opinion that they would probably only come out and speak if they didn't, if they weren't going to move forward, or if they had come to a resolution, like a settlement, in my opinion. So, but yeah, that's a really good question, Kiki, because I mean, that's interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Because, I mean, those are my thoughts. I mean, as far as I know, this conference is just, basically to see how things are going to proceed. Um, so, lady, did you ever hear the audio that Justin received? Yes, Titch. Yeah, that's the one that I have. Yeah, I think it's that one. that Justin got. But I'm not 100%. That's why I didn't want to be like, well, it's just, Justin got it, because I'm not 100% sure. Because I know a lot of people played it too. Because I know like MMO Tarot played it too. I know other people were playing it. So um, Titch, I'll just listen without talking or thinking anything. Well, I mean, it's just it's so hard. Like I wanted to see if some of the parts I could possibly enhance, without distorting the sound either, because the sound already sounds pretty distorted. But if it, like in the videos where we see the cars going by in the neighborhood, some of the ring cameras do have audio, and you could hear the car go by, but it's not like, you know it's not super loud. So just picture people talking, and not trying to be loud. Um, so I don't know which house it comes from either. Is another reason why I don't want to speculate. Like, um, oh, okay, okay, Kiki. Oh, yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, yeah, it's been a while. Vile's our favorite word for them, Lady Freedom Joe. Titch Lady could probably send it to you. She has it. Yeah, sent it to her. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will play. I'll make a video for you guys. I will. I've been working on that. Um, it's just a lot is coming out. A lot is coming out. And then again, like I said, I really wanted to be there for the ease today, and I would just really hope that you guys would go over there. They did like I just again a great live, a great welcome back to the E's. They're just a fantastic family. MZ says CP and the control freak, in my opinion, and probably the entire planet. Yeah, I mean that's like I mean narcissists are that way. I mean, and then they hold grudges like over the GoFundMe, you know, and say things like, "Oh, I don't have a effing GoFundMe," blah blah blah. It's like, geez, mother heifer. So I never watched Clue again after she turned on Seth, and that happened really fast. Yeah, I mean, I think it probably happened when she kept on going past the Proudfoot residence. I'm sure CP was stopping people in the street and being like, "What are you doing in my neighborhood?" I mean, I told you guys I got, you know, stopped in the neighborhood by one of their neighbors, because I was filming the ditch. And my curiosity took my feet a little bit, maybe too far. So, but I mean, it's all like a public. It's not. I don't know how they could say that they own that ditch when it's the city that would own it. You don't own things like that. That's why people call it an easement. So, and that's my opinion, because I'd like to know who owns that ditch then. But I knew CP and KP were rotten when we realized that they didn't get Sebastian treatment for the essay. Yeah, in California. Yeah, yeah, I did too, Joe. I did too. Um, when I first started following this case, I was also following Pascal, and Seth was on Pascal's, and he told us from the very beginning the truth, right? And Katie came out and told us that Seth was a horrible person for telling us the truth. So I'm right there with you. It's like, really, Katie? You know? Good night, Kiki. Thanks so much for coming up on panel, girl. I didn't watch CP or KP on any of those channels. I just heard clips of them on other people's channels after. Um, oh boy. I mean, I played a lot of them, Liberty, and I played the one where Chris, um, blew up on Clue's panel. Um, I think I played a short, like I just took a clip of it when they were up there talking about SEX toys. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the hard part is because, we have to go to those channels to listen to anything they say, and most of what they're saying is horrible things. Um, they're giving them the liberty of doing it too. So, Deborah, are you guys really wanting that? You guys are really wanting that audio, huh? Yeah, we were talking about it in the Discord too. We were talking about it in the Discord because I was like, if you guys can find the audio, I'll try to enhance it. So, because I don't know where to find it, and I was like, I don't know who had it and where it came from. And of course, how it goes when I do enhancements, people get really bothered by them. Okay, especially if we're looking, if we think about the photo that Justin had that I enhanced, and he had been working on with Girl Mom too. And then we think about me doing this with this audio. It makes me a little nervous. I'm still a little shell shocked from the last time I pissed a bunch of people off. So, but why not? Let's see if we can enhance that baby. I don't know, because like there were certain times where I could hear stuff, but then there were certain times where I couldn't make out anything. So, send the audio to Chris. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I could do a good job on it. Like, he could do whatever he wants to do, but I won't be sending it there. Um, and I'll give you guys an update on that, but I don't want to do it in this show. Because this show is about something completely different than that. Um, so, but let's just say that I'll went down, like a turd in a punch bowl, as I really didn't expect. Joe says ET is one of the most obnoxious people ever. Well, I mean, I will say that like when a guy gets like that of because I have PTSD, it is triggering. Like it gives me anxiety because he's very aggressive, and I don't know what other word to use, so I apologize if because I don't want to misunderstand or like misinterpret him, but I will say that like when he starts yelling and stuff, like I don't know, and I'm a spicy lady, I don't take shit from anyone. I just can't. I used to take a lot of shit, and I used to be a doormat. So I learned my lesson not to do that, and the minute that somebody tries it, I karate chop them, Joe. I karate chop them. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. Um, Not your words, but you totally agree, right, Lady Freedom? Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, no, and I agree with a lot of the things that you guys are putting out there because I think you guys feel a lot the way I do too. I mean, look, if we think about how Sebastian feels in this is the biggest takeaway from Sebastian's, situation with everybody being in an uproar. If we all just look at Sebastian's situation, um, if we put ourselves in his shoes, like what he had to go through, and poor Sebastian, even in his photo from school, I think it was his 8th grade photo, he just looks like so hurt, so upset that day. We've seen bruises on Sebastian. We've seen bruises on his neck. We've heard that we've heard that his stepfather likes to use corporal punishment, even though it's in the parenting plan between his father and his mother that there should not be corporal punishment, period. You know? Seth went up on Truth's panel. Wow. You missed. Oh, Faye. Hey, Faye. Good to see you. Oh, yeah. Did you have a good holiday? That's so wonderful. Yeah, he did. Faye, I have videos up if you want to watch them because I've caught a lot of what was said, but there's still a lot. There's still a lot. Hey MC says, lady, there was an interview KP did on Fox and Friends, and they took it down, I think, where it appears KP has busted lip and a black eye, and CP was out of town. I believe she is a victim of CP too. I mean, I can't put that like past her. Like I do think that that is a big possibility. And the reason I say that is because Chris is a malignant narcissist, in my opinion. He is a sociopath, right? In my opinion. Okay, so that's horrible. I'm not a doctor, but it's just, so for me, I think he's very abusive, and I think that his statements, and if he's willing to do that to a little kid, he pops off, he loses his temper, right? They like to drink a lot, right? There's a difference between having a beer and watching the football game. I mean, it gets to a point with them where they're, trashed ass and everything, in my opinion. And I think that's a huge deal. And then also, you self medicate that way when you're being beat on by a man and you're a woman, in my opinion. Again, I understand that. But I do. And I think two things can be true at the same time in some instances. There's some things that you just can't have it both ways. Like Sebastian, taking the trash out at 6:30 and also leaving the Texas Roadhouse at 6:30, like that. But that's neither here nor there for that. But no, I agree. And the thing is that Katie has been in situations her whole life where she's been abused, and sometimes people just repeat the cycles. It's the familiar. And then also you have the element, like I said, we'll just say pineapples. But, when people are pineappling, it's like it's just gonna cause trouble. It's just gonna cause turmoil in a relationship. It's toxic, I hope that Sebastian didn't have to witness stuff like that, but who knows? I mean, they're very selfish. Is that why Katie would make him lay down in the bedroom and self-stim? You don't have to go to sleep, but you got to go in there. And then Chris debos his TV. I mean, they treated him so badly. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't. It, Katie could be afraid, but you know, so it's just one of those things that, you know, I think that it's just very sad. And I think that if she is being abused like that, she should get out of that situation. Because it doesn't matter what I think of Katie. I wouldn't want that on for anybody. I wouldn't expect anybody to put up with that. I mean, and there's always resources out there too. So, um, but no, Deborah, thank you for your super chat. I will definitely, like I said, I've been working on it. We put it in the Discord, and um we've got I think probably the cleanest copy, I think, of the audio. So I should be able to use my system to enhance it, hopefully. Hopefully. So, but I'll get that. I should be able to get that out to you guys fairly quick, I think. Um I don't think that it was a very long clip. If I could remember correctly, it was probably like maybe 12 minutes. And like I said, some of it is like a whisper, and then some of it you can hear, in my opinion, like when Katie does the wailing thing, like she did just in this last video with the safe word, right? Whenever they were on Granny's watching. Um, and Faye, you might also not know um about this because because you were on a holiday, but Chris and Katie came out and spoke publicly on Granny's watching, and I put that up too. And if you want to watch Granny's 7 hour live, I think it's still up. Um, as far as I know. But and then the truth lives, like people have been clipping them, um, but they're not up, so oh, thank you, my PTSD. Thank you so much. So I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I do have an update, MZ, about that. And like I said, guys, I appreciate you guys a lot because I know it's difficult when things happen. Um when things happen, yeah. I just, I try to show you guys what I'm talking about so that you guys can make up a decision on your own. So I'm going to put, a video out about just the way that things happen there. Um, because like again, I do stick up for myself. If I don't stick up for myself, then who will? You know? So, but um I'll just say too, like, and no, Deborah, I did it, hun. It's just that I won't be working with Mob Crew or probably mentioning much of his content moving forward. So, unfortunately, I've tried really hard to be kind to him, and he's done a lot of underhanded things, and then stood by them. So, like I said, I am going, since I talked about it, I'll do a video, but I don't want to dwell on it because honestly, it's it's like Seth said, and it's a witchyism, right? You first have to value somebody's opinion of you to have it hurt you or affect you, right, in a negative way. And in my opinion, what happened with Sassy Sandy T, or whatever her name is nowadays, and Chris from Mob Crew, I just, like I said, I'm not going to be bullied around. And if you use content from another creator, it doesn't matter whether you like them or not. You drop their link in the chat and you say where it came from. And that's just like proper etiquette across the board. Um, and when you're a bigger creator and you treat a smaller creator like they don't matter and your hard work is more important than theirs, um, that's an egotistical, issue. And I think that in Sebastian Rogers' case, there's been a lot of those issues. I mean, that's why I made the thumbnail that I have up. You got YouTubers, you got reporters, you got the police, you got there's a lawyer in there, in the AI photo that I did, because everybody in Sebastian's case has this massive ego. They're doing it for themselves. We even have FBI agent like Jennifer Kaffendaffer, doing that. Um, that's that's really sad and sick for Sebastian. Um, it's I don't know. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And again, like today, I just knew would be a very emotional day. Um, and I didn't want to let some negativity overshadow something. And again, Mrs. E made a great point. Life is very short, and but I feel like it was so public, and I have to address it because he like put the comment up on the board, and um, that sort of thing. Yeah, she was. That's it, MZ. That's it. I mean, you know, and him allowing her to bash me in the chat and stuff. I just those are the things that you see at the hate channels. Not the people that say that they. Yeah, I don't know. Hello, Crazy Bird. Good to see you. So, well, hey, Thomas Randall. Good to see you, and also Tina. Hey, Tina. Good to see you. Oh, okay. Thomas Randall says Dolly Parton was her godmother. Her adopted mom and Dolly went to school together. Oh, Tina was beside herself when she found out yesterday. Yeah, I just found out today. Like, I didn't even know. Well, I guess it would have been yesterday, because especially because with me, because I'm Eastern time. Aw, yeah. Oh, well, hello, Tina, and said I'm sending love and hugs and prayers your way. Yeah, Dolly is just, like I said, amazing. And again, um I would rather celebrate an icon like Dolly, because again, she's a woman who, worked really, really hard to get where she is, and she went above and beyond. And look at how many people she touched, and how many women that she empowered to, stay strong. You don't want anybody push you around, but that also doesn't mean that you have to, um, you know, be a jerk. My internet has been messing up. Missed about everything today. Oh no, I'm sorry, Crazy Bird. Well, I'm so sorry about the audio. Someone informed Leanne, from MMO Tarot where to find it. It was on the neighborhood group site on Facebook. Oh, really, Faye? Oh my gosh, really? I didn't know that. Okay, so it is audio from the neighborhood group Facebook site. I see. Was so did Leanne have it first? Because I remember her playing it. I remember Justin playing it too. And I was like, I don't know. I can't really tell, what that is. I've been wondering if there was a sudden breakdown in the case before the lawsuit gets to the courts. It would make sense to finally admit CPS against CP and KK to clean up their mess. Yeah, I mean, Sharon, that's what I'm really hoping and praying for. That's what I'm really hoping and praying for too, because I think there very well could be, and especially, keeping it in the public too. And like I said, the public pressure, keeping the public pressure on. I think it's such a important thing for us to do. And I'm glad that everybody is talking about Sebastian. Again, that's the good part. The bad part is this horrible other stuff. And again, I'm not saying that Truth is enjoying putting that stuff out. I know it's, in my opinion, been eating him up. It's, in my opinion, causing a lot of turmoil, interpersonal turmoil, and that's never a good feeling. Um, Many people do not like conflict. It's not comfortable, right? It just isn't. Um, it's not comfortable at all. I couldn't believe she passed. I just watched a special on PBS of Dolly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they've been doing tributes and stuff when we did show one earlier, Crazy Bird. So why the distraction from CP and KP now? Well, Faye, what prompted it was because Elevated Truth came out and said that Katie, well, here, Faye, because Faye is one of our OGs, and so let me go ahead and I'll play some of what Elevated Truth said. There's a lot more, but you'll be able to get kind of like some of the key points, like because some of that, well, there's some good key points that I can kind of get us out of the video, but definitely watch it because it's interesting, and I know you know a lot about the case too. Because yeah, this one is really long, but I called it. Let's see. And this is a whole trigger warning. This is going to be a whole trigger warning. But some of the things he's alleging about Chris and Katie are, I mean, grotesque in my opinion. And he's very, very, angry to have to tell. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, our granny and nonsense.
Okay, hold on a second. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, well, let's just go right ahead and
close the deal with PDF.
No, let's not close the deal with the PDF. All right.
Ain't got nothing else for you.
Yikes. Okay, hold on, Faye, because you do have to watch this.
I'm sorry, guys.
He's very upset. I'll just play it from the beginning because it looks like it. Oh, there we go. Triggers.
I took my little break. Use the restroom, check on my dogs, check my messages. You know what? Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm wrong. Everything I've said's wrong. I am a liar. And yeah, this has all just been, one big act. Y'all win. Y'all win. It's cool. You're right. I'm a liar. I'm a liar. I'm a horrible person. You win. I ain't got no more receipts for you. I ain't got nothing else for you. I got nothing else for you. Okay? You're right. I'm all the things you say I am. Okay? Y'all got it. You fucking got it. Good job, y'all. Good job. Good fucking job. Yep. You're right. I'm the problem. You're right. I'm the problem. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the problem. You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm the problem. 100% right. Yep. I'm the problem. I'm the liar. I came onto social media, and then all of a sudden, social media went to hell. Everything is more important, unless, of course, it has to do with you. So, you win. You're right. You're right. Petty AF. Perfect. Not into any fuck shit at all. You ate Crimson Tide? Nope. Didn't say she came by my house. Didn't say she drove by my house. Didn't say she knew where my house was. Nope. I don't have any screenshots of that. Nope. Sure don't. Nope. I lied about it. I'm lying about all of it. Yep. I'm also lying about the fact that Granny and BJ, or Granny and Nonsense and Jay for Justice absolutely said that Chris Proudfoot was trying to fuck him. Sure, I'm lying about that too. I'm lying about the fact that the reason I asked the goddamn question is because a certain mother of a child said that she had a code word for her son to tell her when he needed to go please himself. Yeah. Why I'm lying. Also, why I'm lying, described how she opened the door on her son and he was doing something I'm not going to explain. So she stood there and watched. But you know what? I'll keep shutting my mouth over here because I'm a fucking liar. Because I'm going insane, right? Because I'm going insane. Yeah. I'm lying about all of that. Every bit of what I just said, I'm a fucking liar. Yeah, because you know that's normal, right? Right, but I'm a liar, right? I wasn't forced into a situation to shut my mouth about that, right? No, I'm a liar.
Okay, he said that he is forced to keep himself in a situation like this. So yeah, hello Detroit. Good to see you. So yeah, Tony, I cannot keep up with him. Whose panel was he on? So was he on Queen Bee's, Titch says? Oh Lord. Not Queen Bee, some new people. Is it Queen Bee's friends, the piano guy, Pinot Grigio? Detroit, did you have to go up there to get signal? Oh my goodness. Oh, there'll be clips. Twitch. Or Titch, sorry. That's the next place they'll be at is on Twitch, that social media site, because they've been all over, you know. Thank you, Tony. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. I can't keep up. So yes, Faye. So this is what was alleged by Elevated Truth here. Trigger warning. The whole thing, guys.
And every one of you motherfucking creators who knew it, and y'all sat and let me take this shit. Fuck you. And I dare you motherfuckers to come out on your goddamn platform and say you didn't know. I fucking dare you. But then again, Elevated Truth just has a nasty mind. Or maybe he's had to deal with certain things for a year and a motherfucking half while you cocksuckers have sat on here and took up for motherfuckers. So yeah, I am the liar, motherfuckers. I'm the liar. And it would be a real motherfucking shame if it was caught on a phone call audio now, wouldn't it, motherfuckers? But I'm the liar. Let me remind you of something. I have never had a conversation with the Proudfoots that have not been recorded. Do you hear me, you sorry motherfuckers? Do you fucking hear me? I wasn't there to be friends with the Proudfoots. I was there to find out what happened to goddamn Sebastian. Don't try to shut me up now.
I don't think it's GD Sebastian, but
you spent the last 2.5 goddamn years shutting me up. Yeah, that's why the attacks came on me, isn't it, Chris Proudfoot? Isn't it? Hey, Chris Proudfoot, when all this was coming out, why were you calling Queen Bee? The day all this hit the internet,
Because that's who they run and tell. That's who they run and tell is Queen Bee. Run and tell that, run and tell that. That's what they do. When are they not running and telling? That's who they tell is Queen Bee. She's like, okay, baby. She's all, okay, baby, we'll take care of it. Are you kidding? Well, of course they ran and told Queen Bee. Okay? Run and tell that, homeboy. Golly. And it's like, oh, everybody's shaking in their boots because Queen Bee knows. Well, you know what? They're keeping all of these secrets. Poor Sebastian. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. You know? So, oh, my goodness. I will, though, Deborah. I promise I will get that out for you guys. I promise I will, because I know people have been talking about it in the Discord. People been talking about it in the Discord, so I didn't realize that you guys were really wanting to hear that audio. So, yeah, and luckily people, because I think, Bo, you gave me a timestamp, so I should be able to pull it off of there and work with it the best I can. I'll do my best. And then, I'll always too say that wearing the earbuds, you're going to hear a lot more. Okay. So, Smoker Bee. Oh my goodness. I did sound like Queen Bee though, because I had I had an alligator in my throat, and that, caused me to also sound that way for a little while, so I could have really, he's going to pop a vein. Well, we know who doesn't pop stuff, and that's the guy with low T. So, all right. There's a lot of guys out here suffering with low T, though. I have to say that. Okay. And that's not directed towards Truth, because I think he's got high T, because it's a lot. He's he's pissed. And if he's telling the truth, which, in this part, I believe he is, he's pretty friggin' pissed. I mean, whatever was told to Granny, she pulled over and threw up, right? So, Faye, I want to show you this too, because this is part of the feat when they came out.
Oh, let me replay that real quick, because I'm a fucking liar, right? Because crazy shit wasn't said on the phone. Like, I'll bury you, right? Listen again. But I'm a liar. Remember, I'm a liar, motherfucker.
Really rely on shit. You play on fucking people's emotions and their thoughts, and get the fucking money that you need to support whatever little fucking habits y'all have, because you don't have any ambitions in life to do anything great and big other than sit on this fucking computer and talk shit about people. You want to talk shit to people? Do it to their face and see what that gets you. Because it's probably going to get you 6 feet in the fucking ground, because I guarantee you come near me, lay a fucking hand on me. I dare you. I dare you. I'm begging for you. And because I promise you, breakfast, lunch, and dinner ain't enough meals for you to bring to that fucking fight. But I'll bury you in the fucking ground and let your kids watch. And then when it's all said
Wow.
and done, I got no problems laughing and walking away.
What about them Titans?
What about them Titans?
I
Said that
get why
earlier, Cleta.
he's fucked up right now. I get it, 100 fucking percent.
I do
I
too.
completely do. I'm not sitting here justifying every fucking thing. I'm not doing that. But
Mm-mm.
I am saying I get it.
I get it too. I said that earlier. It's a heavy burden. I get why he's fucking angry. Absolutely, I do. But I think he's directing the anger at different wrong reasons, right? Like,
If I think about him and what I think he's trying to do right now, I think he wants to speak for some reason, but I think he doesn't want to put other people in the line of fire with him speaking, right?
mm-hmm.
But the problem for me is if I'm going to do something like that, right? If like that's my goal and that's my end all be all, I'm going to get on the phone with the people who I know could be impacted by it. And I'm going to say, listen, I'm going to go do a live. I'm going to talk about this, this, and this. And just so you know, there might be something said to you about it. However
Hey,
you respond is however you respond.
hey,
But just so
Lori.
you know, I'm about to go do this.
Right.
And it would be a conversation and then a live. Like
We
at some point, you
have.
got to handle shit like a grown up. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, coming from you. Avis Avis says I don't understand the breakfast, lunch, and dinner comment. I don't know. He's like, you're gonna serve them mashed potatoes up, you're gonna put the gravy on it first. I mean it's a freaking Chris Proudfoot moment. Ava, it's a Chris Proudfoot moment, like he's such a jackass. It's like, oh my gosh. Uh Again, the ego. It's sickening. They need to arrest CP for those threats. I mean, I would have turned him in right away if he said something like that to me. I would have turned him in. I mean, you can't just you can say things to people without threatening like that. You don't have to be like, I'm gonna do that. I mean, look, and we don't ever really know what was said to Seth's mom or his sister about the GoFundMe. I mean, Seth has told us the story and stuff, but I mean, I'm sure he was doing the same thing with them. I will say Bobby the neighbor, although I did catch her in that one lie, and it was kind of a big lie that's kind of weird to lie about. Um, but now that we know what we know now, I will say, it's odd, but she said that she was accosted in the street by Chris Proudfoot. We do know that Chris Proudfoot's PI went after her kids. And again, that's not what's pertaining to here when he's talking about that, those threats. But again, I'm just saying he's known to threaten people like this. Told Seth if he opens his mouth, he'll never open it again. So, you saw a tree frog? Oh my goodness, on your foot? Detroit. Aw, he's so tiny and I caught him before I stepped on him. Aw, that's so cute. Poor little froggy. I know there's all kinds of little lizards and frogs around here. I love them. Aw, thank you, my PTSD. Thank you so much. All of them scared to turn on CP, but not truth. Well, and I mean, I think that's a big part of it, Bo. He's not afraid to stand up, and he's probably been holding on to it, like he says. I mean, I believe him there too. But if we are shocked with the voicemail, we have to give the same outrage to him threatening UA with almost the exact same threats. Yeah. So I haven't had a chance to listen to that, Titch. Look, nobody should be like, I'm going to, unalive you and do all this. You know what I mean? Especially, why are these men acting a fool? Like, these men are seriously acting a fool on these streets. No offense to you good men out there. I know we have our friend Brad here, but I mean, these men are acting like fools. And what we need you guys to do is put that energy into searching for Sebastian. Right? Actually searching, not just sitting there behind your computer acting a fool. Okay, I said what I said. That was a voicemail because right before CP talks, you can hear others talking. Rosebud. Sorry, I read that wrong. It says wasn't. It wasn't. No, I don't believe it was a voicemail either. You can hear him say, go Tennessee or whatever. Okay, guys, so I'm going to get a little bit more coffee and I will be right back. Spaghetti waffles, y'all. spaghetti pancakes. Google it, y'all. Forget about my son and go Google this recipe. I'll never forget that when Deception Detective said that. I thought, holy shit, she did tell us to leave the chat and go Google a recipe when her kid is missing. And she's about to tell the story and walk us through that day. You know? Walk us through that day. I think that threat may have been targeted at BJ after the Swiss cheese comment Craig made. Swiss cheese, Swiss cheese. Oh, I guess I don't. I guess I don't know what the Swiss cheese comment is. Drew said that the last 1.5 years they have tried to shut him up. I know, I know. Oh my gosh! So let me go grab some coffee. You guys listen to this, MC. You guys just listen to this, and it's very eye-opening. Oh no, Deborah. Deborah, I'm telling you, we all need a glass of wine for this. We all need a glass of wine for this, and possibly a cigarette. You know, I mean, oh, that's funny. I don't know. Probably because Chris Proudfoot is a twat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to say it. All right, so let's watch. Let's watch.
Absolutely, I do. And we have
And when
somebody
I watched,
we have somebody backstage that's voice matters far more than ours. So everybody can go ahead and mute your mics if it's real, and do not interrupt. Oh, let me go. Try again. Hello.
Hello. Introducing Grammarly, like you've never seen before. Your all-in-one writing essential. This is Paraphraser, your go-to tool for writing that's sharp, clear, and ready for whatever hat you put on. It works like this. Here are some notes from a busy meeting. Paraphraser helps turn messy notes into polished writing, no extra effort required. Click on this icon to choose the tone of voice, and voila! Professional, casual, friendly, you name it. Today, it's all business. With just a few clicks, the message is clearer, sharper, and more professional, without losing your voice. Paraphraser is just one of Grammarly's powerful agents. Grammarly's got everything you need to write with confidence, no matter what you're working on.
thank you. I am not going to stay very long, but what I am going to say is that, sorry.
No.
Everyone is entitled to their opinions and their thoughts and their theories, and that's fine. But I am going to clarify something. We are not predators. My son is not a predator. I did not stand by and watch or partake in anything inappropriate with my son. I did not put my son in a trash can. He deserves so much more respect and dignity than what he is getting. Truth is entitled to his thoughts, his opinions, and his perception of whatever he has gone through. And I am sorry that he is struggling. Mm-hmm. But I will not stand here and let my son be accused of those things that he did not do. And I did not either. Sebastian is missing. And the only thing that we want is for that him to not be forgotten, for him to continue being searched for.
Okay, Katie, you need to search for him. You need to search for him, or you could spread awareness online for him. But instead, the only reason you came out was because Truth said what he said. Isn't that right? Okay? Because while Seth was on a panel talking about Sebastian you and Chris were over at the casino doing fuck all. Okay? That's a problem. It's a major problem. You know? So, hey, Janet. Unbelievable. All right, guys. So let's listen a little bit more.
And for him to come home.
Come home. You know where he is, Katie.
I will continue to say thank you for everyone that continues to keep my son in their mind and their hearts. And I don't fault anyone for having their theories, their suspicions, their speculations. If anything, I'm grateful because that means that people are actually giving a damn. No one is perfect, myself included, my husband included, everyone on here included. My husband is not a predator. He doesn't prey on women either. But I just wanted to come up and clarify that because I'm so sick to my stomach.
I'm so sorry.
You should be sick to your stomach that your son's still missing out there. Sick at your stomach, not knowing if he's taken care of, if he's warm, if he's got food. You're a jerk, Katie. So that was a little bit of that. That was a little bit of that. And I'll show a little bit more of what Truth said. Whoopsie daisy. About the trash can.
And I dare you motherfuckers to come out on your goddamn platform and say you didn't know.
Okay, so they all knew is what he's saying. And then he says a lot more stuff too. But he also talks about the trash can video. So hold on. Of the trash being picked up on Monday morning about 5:30 a.m.
Everything that was said,
yes, they
or
will,
insinuated,
Deborah. Yes,
to Granny were the same things that I heard and insinuated towards myself. So as we were having this conversation, it started to get real. Things started to pop back and forth. Yeah, Granny never asked for this information or contacted me for this information. No, I hold responsibility for that. Okay? She wanted to talk to me about the situation with Chris and how to best handle it without having any bad view or bad news or bad coverage on Sebastian. She was trying to protect fucking Sebastian, not the parents. She did not want herself to become the story and take away from fucking Sebastian. How would you feel as a woman if you were a creator covering a case? Things are being said to you. You feel uncomfortable. Who you gonna go to? Well, you know who she went to? As crazy as it is, as sick and demented as I am, she talked to me about it. And I appreciate her for doing that. It's the same reason why I have respected her this entire fucking deal while I have been fucking slammed.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever.
And, you know,
and never once.
Look, guys, this is the problem. You know, he's been getting slammed by, everybody for going against Chris and Katie. Look, it's hard to take a stand against things, right? Nobody likes, again, the conflict. Nobody wants the backlash. Nobody wants to be hurt when you're not believed. I totally understand that. I totally understand that. And Titch, he preyed on Terry Lynn. I think she kind of liked it a little bit, here and there, because, it does seem like she did hop up on that panel and talk about, adult toys and such. But he did. He's like, oh, it'd be nice if we could do this in private, and all this weirdness. Hey, Paige, she asks for help, but yet they silence anybody who does try to help. Right. And like they get threatening, like they get hateful about it. I agree 100%. It's ridiculous. It really is. And anybody that talks about it, and he's saying the same thing, but now he's on the flip side of things because they told him things thinking that he was going to keep it all a secret. But then he's like, I can't do that because I have to think about Sebastian. And, again, if what he's saying is true, then good on him for doing that, and I will say that he said that he went to the FBI. So I know, Faye, isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? I think that's why Truth is being so vocal about it, because he knows about it and has experienced it himself, in my opinion. Yeah. And I mean, again, I have to say that Granny herself said it was inappropriate and that, she puked, Exactly. Spill the tea, Truth, right? Spill the truth. We want the truth, right? Because, here's the thing. I understand why he would be upset that people are sticking up for Chris and Katie when they shouldn't be, right? It's infuriating. Janet says, Jesus brings Sebastian home. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. I'm praying with you, Janet. And, I just pray every day for a resolution to Sebastian's case where he comes home to his dad and they're able to continue making memories together. I mean, it's just awful. It really is awful that no one has held Chris and Katie's feet to the fire. And, it's taking seemingly a YouTuber to do that, So, and he has said disparaging things, He did treat Nina very badly. Chris did. Yeah, Mr. Chris Proudfoot. So, okay, guys, so here's a little bit more of this.
Did I fucking throw Granny under the bus because she didn't deserve it? She's been going through enough. And what I'm about to tell you is a lot for anybody's soul, especially someone like Granny who has a soft soul and wears that shit on her fucking arm. I asked Granny, I said, Granny, I need to ask you something. I haven't talked to anybody about this. Here's your trigger warning. Here's your trigger warning. But Granny deserves to have her name cleared. Fuck me. Come at me. I'll deal with it. But I'm so fucking tired of seeing Granny get drugged. Why do you think we did the fundraiser the other day? Why do you think I was so goddamn pissed off during that thing?
Thank you so much, Tony. Hey, Savvy Gamer.
You think I was doing it for attention? No, because these cocksuckers were trying to dry her out, keep her from feeding her kids, keep her from taking her kids to be kids.
Well, look, I don't know all the ins and outs of this, but I will say that this isn't kind of how he feels the next day about it or subsequently, because of the backlash that he got, and yeah, it's just terrible. And again, yes, thank you, Tony. I'll check it right now. So, I mean, I think Granny should come forward with information as well if she hasn't already to the FBI. I think the FBI needs to be aware of this stuff.
Asking for receipts from a woman who, if you were a single mom, you have a hard time keeping up with your grocery receipt. And y'all want her to take her time to show y'all that she had to spend money that she should have never had to spend for shit she never did wrong. And you want to know why I think it was? Because Granny talked to me. I think Chris found out that Granny talked to me. They wanted Granny gone. They wanted me gone.
I find it very, very easy to come up with receipts, and I think I've proven that to you guys time and time again. I find it extremely easy to come up with receipts. If I'm alleging something and I'm saying, pretty much as fact, I will back it up with receipts all the time. And that's why I show you guys things, because you have to sometimes when you're backed against a wall.
And they wanted Clue gone. The three people that knew the most about Chris and Katie. And some of y'all are going to say, but it was the other side. And I'm here to tell you there's no real sides. There never has been. That's all been the deflection. And if you don't think I'm telling you the truth, you're crazy. The sides have been a distraction. How do three parents decide to send a child to a residential treatment facility, but then they hate each other 3 months later when he goes missing? Get the fuck out of here. Kiss my fucking ass. While we're talking about it, Chris and Katie, why did the lead detective walk down your driveway, come to the end of the driveway where the trash can was sitting that morning, kneel down next to where the trash can was, started touching the ground where the trash can was, and then ordered for forensic samples to be taken? Call me a liar. Why was it when the trash can came to pick your trash up that morning and the trash truck is coming down the street from about 7 houses up, so they do catch things on camera, just for the record, and we watched the two trash guys on the back of the truck jumping off, grabbing those trash cans with ease, picking them up, flipping them, throwing them up, throwing it on the little thing, nothing, quick as hell. Can you tell me why when they got to your trash can, the guy went to jerk it and it pulled him back? Can you tell me why we heard him drag the trash can until finally he was able to jerk it onto its back wheels? Can you tell me that why, when it was put on the hydraulics on the back, you can hear the entire, which you haven't heard any other time in this video? Can you tell me why all of a sudden you hear the hydraulics shift down? Can you tell me what the loud thud was that we heard hit the inside of the trash can? Or can you tell me why when they hit the compactor button, not only did it go down 1 compression, not only did it gear down 2 compressions, but it squealed. It was so hard to push down. And Katie Proudfoot, when I asked you on the phone, what did you throw away that was so heavy? And your answer to me was, I don't know, I don't remember.
Guys, we were just showing you an aerial sketch of a landfill search. There's nothing good about that. Seth Rogers, why have you been told that authorities are searching a landfill?
They told me they just wanted to make sure that there was nothing there.
Aaron Cantrell joining me, News Channel 5 out of Nashville. Aaron, what can you tell
They called it precautionary to the public. Remember the precautionary landfill search? Precautionary landfill search, gaslighting. Precautionary landfill search, gaslighting. Precautionary, precautionary, precautionary. I don't think so. That doesn't fit under, getting probable cause and that sort of thing.
me about this landfill search?
Yeah, Nancy. So they had got a tip that potentially from the garbage workers that maybe the trash may have been off a little bit. So just following up on that tip.
What do you mean by that? You can't just throw a grenade into my mind palace and expect me not to follow up. What do you mean something was off?
So basically, the workers said they have the same garbage truck drivers that come to the house, and when they picked up the garbage can, it just felt more heavier than normal. So they just said that to the authorities. So just to follow up on that tip, they went out to the landfill to search because that's where the trash is taken. There in Sumner County, they take it out there to Kentucky. So just following up on that tip, that's what kind of led them out there because, we're used to our garbage, the same garbage truck workers coming out there. They know kind of how the trash usually feels every single day. So it felt a little off for them. So that's why they told that to the authorities. So that's kind of what led them to the landfill to start looking around.
Wow.
But I'm sure it was just a slip of the mind.
Yeah. So, with that being said, okay then. Very well. So there's just a lot came out, Faye, but I wanted to show you a couple little clips there just to kind of show you what's been kind of popping off lately. So, Liberty, did you see that lady's snake earrings? Like, she had two of them, and they were very big snake earrings. So, yeah. Oh, thank you, Titch. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, again, I just kind of took off the screen share, or excuse me, screen recordings, which I don't usually do. And hey, Christmas Swan, good to see you. Don't be sorry for being late. It's no worries. We kind of just did a hodgepodge show today. But I mean, I think we had some good talking points, when it came to, yeah, Liberty, they were like huge and they were weighing her ears down. So, but yeah, I wanted to, just come up and talk with you guys tonight. And again, just make sure that, I promoted Mr. and Mrs. E's Crimecast because they did such a wonderful job. And Christmas Swan, it does me too. She says the trash talk gives me the chills for some reason. I do pray this didn't happen to him. And I mean, maybe there's just things. Look, we all hear things and we all, will interpret things differently. So, maybe Truth really, really thinks that, this is a strong possibility and it's really bothering him. Again, I don't want to discount anybody that says that they've talked to Chris or Katie because I haven't. So I kind of have to take it, as we get the information and kind of process through it. But yeah, Lori, it's just, and it's hurtful, guys. And it hurt a lot of people out there. I mean, a lot of our hearts were broken to hear that. And especially because, again, Truth is very adamant that he's not lying. He's telling the truth. So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, no, I mean, he wasn't in the landfill. According to Chris Proudfoot, they said that they did locate their trash. But again, why would they tell play-by-plays to the people who Sebastian was last with. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, the lady had issues. Yeah. And, I just wanted to play that part because Aaron Cantrell said that there was a tip called in. I mean, he said a potential tip that was called in by the trash workers saying it was heavier, so. Deborah Dixon says, I love being there for Mr. and Mrs. E's tonight. It was very cathartic for them to have all of us there for them again. Yeah, they are just so sweet. You know, and again, just it was my honor being there. Um, there's just so many good people that are in Sebastian's army that just want nothing more than for him to be found. And, you know, with everything Mr. and Mrs. E have gone through, they're always there showing up for other people. And again, that's just, one of the most awesome things about them among many, many things. So yeah, Lori, definitely go watch Mr. and Mrs. E tonight. It was so good. And we really got to know Cole's personality. And, like I said, I took a little bit of time to go and, watch some of his videos. But also because they were, he did some Make-A-Wish. And I don't want to do a spoiler or anything, but there were some Make-A-Wishes that he did, and he got to see some Broadway plays. One of his favorite is Hamilton, but he got to see a bunch of them, like the Book of Mormon, and that was one I've never gotten to see either. But those things, just going and doing that is so fun. But he's very theatrical and an actor, really like a talented actor, in my opinion, himself. Super funny. And, Mr. and Mrs. E are just great people, like I said, and they just have the most beautiful family. And yeah, it was beautiful to see them go live. And yeah, it's just, again, when you have authentic people who are just in it for being kind to others and caring, and it's just a very good it's a very good reminder, right? And we need those reminders a lot of the times because there's a lot of things that happen that are really, really ugly on these streets. And when you have a group and you see like everybody come together like that, it's just really, really nice. So he believes what he's saying, but it doesn't make what he's saying true. Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. And that's the thing about the trash can, I think, because again, we're not looking at a large window of time when we're thinking about how long it would take for that to all transpire. you know so with that being said, I mean, I also think that they would have known, and I don't want to get too graphic because this is horrible, but I think that they would have known if Sebastian was in the trash can or someone was in there. I mean, come on, in my opinion, but then again, a lot of stuff is being alleged. So, yeah, exactly. Yes, Bo. And, just it seems like he had such a great bunch of friends. And, like I said, I got a little insight, but then the tribute that they did was just so awesome. Thomas Randall says, I don't think that they did a thorough search of the landfill, in my opinion, considering the search they did for baby Quentin and how long it took. I agree with that too, Thomas. I think that's a good point. Faye says, so I wonder what forensics found on the ground at the trash cans and what they found in the landfill to search only for a week, in my opinion. Right. And no one has talked about them swabbing or anything. So did they do that when Seth wasn't around? Because I've never heard Seth tell us that, right? Only this is being alleged through Chris and Katie Proudfoot. So when did that exactly happen? So we'll find out more. And like I said, I'll bring it to you guys as it comes in. I'll do my best for that. And then I will work that audio I know I have a link with a timestamp, and I don't know because I think Bo, you said something earlier, but I think I have it somewhere. If it's not in the main Discord, somebody sent it to me somewhere in there. So I'll try to work on that too and get you guys, kind of a cleaner version, or maybe where I can, because Kylie, or excuse me, because Deborah Dixon, for your super chat too, because I really appreciate that. And I know that you guys are kind of looking forward to hearing that. So I'll definitely try to get that together. Um, you know, my software is pretty decent that I have. So it shouldn't be. It's just I know the audio is a little bit kind of sketchy, but what I'll put in there too is the disclaimer. Um, Oh, okay. Yeah, Deborah, if you want to send it to me, that way I won't have to look all in the in the Discord. So, okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I thought so, Bo. Okay, that looks like I do have it. So because I remember seeing it at some point, but again, I've been trying to keep up with a lot of these lives too to kind of see what information I want to pull out. I mean, look, and I will say another disclaimer, like we shouldn't be threatening each other. You know what I mean? It's really, really dangerous to do that, and you don't want to treat people that way, right? Like it's just, again, a lot of people need to start treating each other better. None of us is going to get a gold star for finding Sebastian. What we will get is the satisfaction of knowing that he's home with his dad safe, right? That would be the best case scenario. So I'm gonna smash that ego with my high heel. All right, guys. Well, I love you guys all so very, very much, and I appreciate you guys being here. And I'll make sure I get some more good content out for you guys and some more good creations. And let's see what happens, what transpires. Let's continue to pray for Sebastian's safe return. Let's continue to pray for Seth that he can, continue to fight for Sebastian, because it takes a lot. And, he's a hero, and not every kid has a dad out there fighting for them, and unfortunately we know that Katie and Chris are not fighting for Sebastian, in my opinion. So, all right, guys. Well, I think that we'll reconvene tomorrow for night court. So I will see you guys all